All right, let's try that again. Everybody here okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good.
Where's Steve at?
He's on. I think he may be having some audio issues. Everyone seems to be a little challenged today, including myself. So believe me, I fault no one for that. Mr. Tallyman, if you can hear us, we can't hear you. I can hear the banging on the keyboard.
Oh, he says I've been trying to talk and get a response.
Yeah, we can hear you banging on things, but we can't actually hear you. Do you want to try joining from your phone? Maybe one of your fellow iPhone users can teach you how to install Discord on your phone.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's a pretty simple process. If you can download anything, you can download Discord.
Well, the thing I like about it on the phone is you don't have to do the audio setup. It kind of does it for you.
Yeah.
I always join from my iPad and then have the game running on a laptop.
So your audio is through your iPad?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why your audio is always so clean.
Somehow the microphone broke on my iPad, but I'm using a set of earbuds with the microphone
Interesting.
in lieu of that.
We'll give Steve a little bit of theme music to inspire him. Let me see if there's anything on my side I can do. I've got his volume up as high as I can, so it's not that. So while we're waiting for Steve, let me tell you guys a couple of things I tried. I've done. I've installed a different kind of combat tracker, which I think might make it a little cleaner and take up a little less room. It's a little carousel that appears at the very top of the screen. I'll show you what I mean. Let me just add. Let me go ahead and add Druger. There's our favorite heavy dwarf, And let me add a little beast for him to fight. Let me give him something. Well, I always like owlbear, so let's go ahead and drop an owlbear in there. Boom. We have a nice big ass owlbear now. So when the combat begins, uh, typically in the past, the way you guys have seen this is it's been the little pop-out window. But you'll notice if you look at the top of the screen, there's a little carousel you can move around now. And it will show your conditions and special elements in many cases, not every single one of them, but down below, along with to the rest of the party your hit points. So if you've been poisoned, if you've been paralyzed, if there's any special abilities that are running for you, it'll be shown there. Won't be for the bad guys. If you guys know what the bad guy is, I will, or if someone guesses the name correctly, I will expose the name so you guys will know what that is. But this is the way that that lays out here now. So you can see as we go through the combat, it'll move up here in the top. So you'll see where you guys are in the combat. If you prefer using the old-fashioned one, if you prefer using this one, you can still use that and keep this this tracker going on in the background if that's what you prefer. I just thought this might be a little bit easier for some folks to follow, so I left it there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That music is a lot louder than I was expecting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yay! There he is. We
Good.
cannot go
better.
into battle without our paladin. So no, absolutely, sir. We were going to wait for you. So glad that you could make it.
Me too.
Yes, I'm quite sure. So let me go ahead and lower the music here a little bit because I think I took a wee bit too loud. But I was just explaining, Steve, as you were here, combat tracker to keep things. That'll call the combat carousel, which we'll have at the top of the screen. Might make it easier for people to see where they're coming up in the and help them track things a little bit better. I think this is a little bit more graphical than the view we had before. You can move it around if you guys don't want it, drop it off the screen. Let me know what you think. If you guys don't like this thing, I'll drop it off. But I just thought this was a little bit of an easier way of seeing things than the old combat tracker. But you absolutely have the freedom to use that one if you would rather. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Dropping the combat. Don't need that anymore. And I'm also going to turn off this music, which, even though I like it a lot, that's a really good one. But we are going to go in. So when last we met, ladies and germs, you had finally discovered the lost Wave Echo Cave, and poor Druger needed a moment to kind of collect himself as he was walking towards the entrance. It is down in a very deep ravine crevasse, if you will, with water clearly having carved out the access area. The good news is that you can't be seen from the parties that are sitting up on the ridge. You know you're several 100 feet down from where that is. But the bad news is if you were to fall off of this ledge, it's several 100 feet down to the rocks and water down below. So stepping off of that's not going to be an easy task. To remind you, you guys did see the entrance is across the bridge on the other side of the crevasse with a forked kind of parallel set of streams running down a waterfall immediately to your left-hand side. There's a bridge that you'll need to cross to get over to it. It looks fairly sturdy. It is covered with ice and frost. Treacherous to fall down and bust your butt on, but not necessarily that you would go sliding off and falling to your deaths or anything like that. So feel safe that you guys are probably not, that's not likely to happen to you with respect to that. So with that having been said, are there any questions about last week's episode? Any questions about where we are, what's happening, what's doing, what you need to be doing, what you shouldn't be doing before we decide to proceed?
No, I think I'm good.
Me
Excellent.
too.
Okay, that having been said, I'm going to get this party started, as they say, and hopefully get you guys into Wave Echo Cave. So let me take you guys back to where you were. So where you guys were standing, you can see in front of you this enormous entranceway. It's very narrow, though, surprisingly narrow, only about 10 feet wide, but easily a good 30 feet tall. And in traditional dwarven fashion, the entranceway is somewhat geometric, but interestingly enough, can actually fade into the facets and cracks and crannies that make up the edge of the wall. So the only reason you were able to see it when you did was literally you were staring right at it. Now it's merely 50 feet in front of you. Between the swirling fog that you were having to go through, produced by your friendly neighborhood cleric, as well as just the geometry of what you were looking at, you didn't see it till you were almost directly on top of it, which is, explains a lot why, minus the divination key, no one's been able to find this thing easily over the years. Druger is quite literally beside himself looking at the entranceway here. He's making reference and comments to the grandeur of the architecture and the engineering that clearly went into making this. As you start to approach and get closer to the entrance, interestingly enough, Cauldron, the key that was guiding you and pulsing and giving you a read on where you needed to go suddenly dims out as you get within 5 feet of your side of the stone bridge. The stone bridge itself, like I said before, is covered with ice and snow, but you can make out the stones very clearly. There are no railings on the side of the bridge, but even though it looks treacherous and you might slip, fall, embarrass yourselves, the odds of sliding off the bridge, highly unlikely. But as you look towards the entrance, it's clear that the entrance immediately jogs to one side once you go inside the mouth of the entrance. And as a result, you can't see more than maybe 5-10 feet inside before it immediately becomes dark again. And what little you can see is just a stone wall as the entrance pivots around a corner. Cauldron is in the lead. She was the one with the key and was trying to guide the party with Elrin immediately in close proximity behind her. Cauldron, as you get to the bridge and you notice that the key extinguishes itself, more or less. There's still a slight hue to it, but not like what you were seeing before. You notice that on the stone bridge, in a few parts on the snow, you can see footprints. So someone else has found this entrance, it would appear.
What kind of creatures does it look like made the footprints?
Give me a perception or investigation, whichever you're better at. There we go. Unfortunately, not the best roll you've ever given. And as a result, you're not exactly sure what it was, but you're pretty sure it's not an animal per se, because it does appear to be boots. You could make out the distinct imprint of a heel, but whether it was left by a dwarf or a human or an elf or an orc or even those weird hybrids you saw at the top of the hill, you really can't tell. The footprint isn't clean. The mist that's been coming in off of the waterfall has degraded it significantly, and it doesn't appear to be brand new, spanking fresh either. So between those two things, you really can't get a good read, but you're pretty certain that it is a boot and not something that was made by an animal. It doesn't look like a paw print.
Okay.
Any other?
I relay this information to the party.
It's just one set of footprints, right?
You actually only see like 2, 3 of these prints in the snow. The rest of it is pretty much rock hard ice or stone. So there's not really a whole lot else there to go and read that off of, but it would appear that someone or something has been through here. Exactly when? Well, it's kind of hard to say.
But it's one person or creature, right?
That is very much correct.
I feel like we could do that. We can take that, right?
Probably.
Oh, I'm burning toast. If my fire alarm goes off, I apologize.
As long as the apartment is not burning down, we're all good with that.
I think we can. I mean, my opinion is that I think we can proceed because I think one trap, even if it is a malignant creature, if it's just one of them, I feel like we can handle that.
I like your confidence. Like your confidence a lot.
Wait, what does the rest of the party think, though? I'm not going to just like barge forward.
I agree.
I think
Let's
that's
go.
a good thing. Yeah.
You think that's a good thing? You agree?
Yeah, I was agreeing with what Nina was saying.
All right, so let me just get everybody loaded in here, and we'll be ready to rock and roll in just 1 second. We don't have Elrin, so
I'm Elrin.
pardon, we don't have Angelina. So Elrin,
I can also play Angelina.
Yes, I meant to say Elrin, if you would be so kind as to please play Angelina.
You got it.
I would appreciate it very much.
Yep.
Because we do need to be able to proceed. And Ruger, go ahead and carry yourself. I'll cover Damien, and I will cover Druger until such time as we get the respective players in the party. If anybody has anything that looks weird in your character sheet or in your view or anything like that, please let me know as soon as possible, and we will go ahead and take care of that. But if there's no other questions, let me go ahead and bring you good folks into the wonderful mystery that is Wave Echo Cave. So here we go.
Ooh, we're going! Finally going! So, my apologies in advance if you can hear me cry. I did not get to eat dinner yet, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Understood. All right. So, folks, here we are. As you make the turn around the inside entrance of the cave, you notice very quickly things become very cramped, and you're looking at what appears to be a natural. It's typical kind of dwarven construction. They're leveraging what Mother Nature has given them with respect to the stone. It looks very roughly hewn, but by the same token, not so much. Like there's something that they may have taken advantage of here, like with respect to maybe this is where the water originally channeled it. Druger starts sniffing at the air, and he goes, "Oh, can you smell that? It smells like seawater." Which is very odd, seeing as how you guys are actually several thousand feet up inside of a mountain. But he can swear that he can smell, he can smell seawater from where he's at.
How would that be possible?
I don't know, lass. But you know, my brothers have been known to be able to do amazing things with stone, but being able to bring an ocean up to the top of a mountain, even that's way beyond what they're supposed to be able to do. I'm curious.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, mermaids or something? Something magical?
Hard to say.
I'm thinking we should rearrange the marching order a little.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the marching order. Oh, maybe I need to just refresh the page.
Yep, you should be in. Elrin, I think I have all of the players
It
in.
looks like it's still
I
paused.
see.
Oh, there we go. How's that? Does that help?
Let me see.
Cauldron, you can go up front. I'd like to have Druger and maybe Damien closer to the front.
Excellent.
I'm loading the game right now, but UPS also just came, and I've learned my lesson, and I'm going to grab that package right the F now. So
Yes.
I'm on Discord, but I won't be having control of my character for a hot second.
Gotcha. So, guys, if you don't know what she's talking about, unfortunately, some decided to help themselves to get a ghost package this week. All right. So,
Yeah.
Damien is like, yeah, I agree. I think you never know. It's been sitting in an old cave for a long time. All kinds of denizens. I'll come up there with you. And Druger's like, lad, you're not going into a dwarven cave without having your dwarf up front. I'm with you, lad.
Yeah, I say we all go in. And I think our usual marching order is generally good.
Well, normally you have Cauldron in the front, but you guys want to leave her in the front? How do you want to proceed here?
Yeah, people checking for traps should be up front.
Yeah, and I think maybe Druger then Cauldron, because like Druger's got the dwarvish knowledge or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, so
his stone cunning is good.
Sure.
so let's do this.
Good idea.
Like this, and then bring it up like this. How's that look? Everybody happy with that?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so
Looks good.
I'm gonna grab the group and allow me to move you guys because there's a lot of rough edges on this map, which could catch on your tokens and get you a little frustrated. So don't be too alarmed if I'm the one that grabs you. All right, you guys move down to the end of this hallway, and you start noticing, even those of you that are not well attuned to stonecraft, can tell that you're starting to go down at a fairly pronounced clip. The walkway after you made the turn kind of went up briefly for a little while, and maybe Elrin can mute her microphone.
Oh, sorry.
We were enjoying your staircase. And then it started to very quickly start going downwards and at a pretty significant angle as well. And you start really feeling your speed picking up as you're going down. But as you get to the end of this entranceway, you notice that it opens up to a much wider area. There's stalactites, stalagmites inside of this opening, and your own breath starts to echo off of the walls as you are moving about this area. You can hear it echoing off the walls as you're moving about.
You know, before we go further into the cave, I'd like to pull Damien aside and suggest that his combat style in the past of one-on-one fighting monsters seems to play out in every combat we have, and that he might want to start thinking differently to take on like multiple monsters or a crowd of monsters, and to work on like flanking them so that they can only attack like one of us at a time. And yeah, I used the last battle as a good example of how the rest of us were spread out and, you know, formed sort of like a two-pronged or three-pronged attack, one from the front, two from the sides, and suggest that, you know, he might do better thinking in terms of ranged attacks at the beginning and letting them come to us as opposed to rushing to them. And then also, you know, taking out the strongest one, you know, if he can see a spellcaster, maybe going after them first with a ranged weapon or closing into them individually where the others can't get to him so easily. So he takes less, you know, attacks himself. Basically saying he can be a team, he doesn't have to do it all himself.
Exactly. Well, unfortunately, Damien's not here, the real Damien. And I do agree with your approach. I think that's a great idea. So I will say that Damien would totally see the value in that, and that the training that he had received at the academy would certainly tell him that if you do have folks that can fight alongside you, absolutely take advantage of that. You don't need to go in, and Billy does not need to be a hero. But as you guys come around this corner, Cauldron, you spot it right away. You see that inside of this area, just on the inside, right over here, just over to the right, you see lying on the ground, it looks like there are some bedrolls, 2 bedrolls there, and some other gear that's been left around, some flasks of oil that unfortunately appear to be empty, some casks of salted meat, small ones, maybe a sack, it looks like perhaps a sack of flour that unfortunately the rats have gotten to, some pickaxes and a shovel and some other gear. But unfortunately, it looks like it looks like there's nobody there at that little campsite, and there's no fire burning or anything along those lines. But it's clear that the party that had been here before has taken the time to have actually at some point have set up a camp, it would appear.
How large of a party?
Well,
and how long ago does it seem to be?
Which one of you asked that question?
Elrin.
Elrin, who has a mouthful of food. Elrin, give me either perception or investigation, whichever is higher for you. All right. Well, you're not exactly sure how long this may have been there. It's kind of hard to tell. Like I said, the rats and the other creepy crawlies appear to have gotten to all of the food for the most part. Whether that happened within hours of the group being there or days of them being there, you're not exactly sure. But there are only 2 bedrolls.
Stand by what I said earlier. I think we can take 2 people. I don't think it's too concerning. I think we can keep going. Is there anything that we can find that might be useful to us?
Nothing that you see there at the moment. Well, there may be some gear there that eventually might be of use to you. It's nothing that you guys don't already have. The food you probably wouldn't want to touch because, like I said, the creepy crawlies have already been through it. The bedrolls, you guys all have bedrolls, pickaxes and things of that nature, unless you're planning on starting to dig. Maybe not necessarily anything you need, but you have, the miners, like for example, Ruger has basics of that in his stonemason's kit, and so he's got like a small pickaxe, mostly for surveying. He's got a small, fold-out shovel, things of that nature. It would be cumbersome. They are heavy, but if you wanted to try and carry them, you could.
I don't think we need it unless you guys particularly are dying to get stuff that we already have. But otherwise, I think we can just keep moving forward.
All right.
Agreed. I'm going to activate my divine sense and see if I pick up anybody.
All right. So your divine sense is good for about 60 feet. You can pick up the residual detection of undead. In the general direction of straight ahead, quite literally in a 180-degree arc in front of you. Pick a direction. There's undead. You also are picking up a little bit of fiend, and you're not sure, but it's like, it's almost like, when someone's sitting there like smelling a fine wine, trying to pick up on like all the little subtleties. It's like I'm getting hints of demon, that sort of thing. But it's not strong. But you definitely are picking up fiend. You're definitely picking up undead. You're not picking up celestial. You're not picking up fey. So if they are there, they're nowhere within immediate proximity.
Okay, I relay that to the group and motion Damien and Druger to come forward and start searching.
All right. Druger immediately decides to go over and check out the old camp. He's You see him picking through the material based on Elrin, your suggestion about the material, and figure out whether or not it's any good or not. Damien goes around, starts checking out this side of the camp as well. Cauldron, do you want to go and assist with any of the investigation? Hold on, Steve. Stop moving.
Sure.
All right. So, which direction would you like to head in?
Are we still in this tunnel?
Well, you're right at the entranceway there. You've
Yeah,
just
okay.
opened up to this bigger cavern. And, Damien's gone off to the left. Ruger's heading towards what looks like a drop-off ahead. Even with everybody's using essentially dark sense here. In your case, your dark sense is that wonderful reddish hue that you pick up on, being of a fire elemental progeny. But even in your kind of reddish hue, you can see that there looks like everything just drops off to black about 15 feet in front of where Ruger is right now.
I'll go help Ruger with looking there.
All right. Go ahead. I'll move you up there next to him. So you move up a little bit closer, and you can definitely see, yeah, that there is a significant drop off there. The two clerics kind of walk in through the entranceway, so that they're not completely out of eye shot of everyone. Damien is over in this corner right here, which you guys can't exactly see from there because of where he's at. He's kind of off behind that pylon, and he hollers back, "Hey, it looks like the wall just kind of dies off over here. There's no other gear. There's nobody in this general area. Not really much else to report. Looks like whatever or whoever was over here, they kind of stayed over in that corner." Sorry, trying not to cough into the microphone.
Do we want to investigate the cavern?
Well, it would seem to make sense, Damien tells you. There doesn't appear to be any entrances up on this level. He runs his finger along the floor, looks at his glove, and goes, "Dust is pretty undisturbed over on this side. I mean, if you can discount the rat tracks and the cockroach poop."
Yeah, I think we must venture into the ookily spookily.
Into the ookily spookily.
Is there a visible ceiling above us?
Yes. The ceiling is just at the limits of your dark vision. At about 50 feet above you, natural form stalactites in the ceiling. There doesn't appear to be anything hiding or creeping along up there either, but there doesn't appear to be anything constructed as well. It's just a roof. It's just a cavernous rooftop. Ruger, I'm gonna have Ruger make a quick roll here against his stone cunning, real quick. Okay. He would be able to tell this. This is a dwarven construction, so he would know this anyways. So Ruger comes along and goes, "Ugh, this looks like it would be the entranceway. They won't make it very hard for someone to come in and be able to make the way into the main rooms of the place. So this opening would normally be full of guards that would make the entrance through that narrow passage darn near impossible if you weren't friendly. You'd just find yourself getting picked apart if you came down there with ill intentions. It would be bad for your health. But there should be some way into the main structure from here. I don't know where it's gone, but I have a bad feeling it might be where the floor gives way." And he points over to where the line in the floor is, at the edge of that gaping opening, which appears to be about 15 feet away from you, Ruger, immediately to your northeast.
Are there loose rocks or stones on the ground?
There are a few. I mean, the ceiling has shown signs of natural decay. There's, obviously small and biggish rocks that have fallen from the ceiling and have landed down here on the ground. But the ground
Okay.
itself is, in fact, while not tiled, it's clear that it was polished to a floor. It has been leveled. It has been ground down. It's not natural stone. Well, it is natural stone, but it's been leveled out to make way as a very serviceable floor, and in the classic sense of how dwarves are known to be able to get it within, a hair's width of being off.
So I pick up a stone and I'm thinking to cast a light spell on it. I ask the group if that's going to offend anybody, and then I'd like to toss the stone down the pit in front of us and see where it lands.
No, I think that's a good idea. That's kind of something I was searching through the spell book to see if there was anything I could do that with that as well.
Is your light a cantrip? It is a cantrip, right?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so it doesn't cost you any spell points to do that. You go ahead and toss a stone over the edge, and you hear it fall for a little while, and then it eventually lands down below. And I believe, what's the kind of like the maximum circumference of the light that you're allowed to create? There we go. It's a 20-foot radius of dim light and 10 feet of bright light. So let's go ahead and, 20 feet of dim light. That's what it is. All right. So here we go. All right. You toss your rock over the edge. It takes several seconds, but then you finally hear it lands in the bottom. And you can see
How deep is it? Roughly?
It's a good 60, 70 feet to the bottom, far enough down that your eyes could not see it when you were first trying to use just your dark sense to try and see it. So it goes beyond the range of dark sense.
I think our path may lie that way. Sugar, would you like to connect a rope around the tower or the stalagmite next to you and throw it over the edge?
Nothing would make me happier. So he goes to the rock that's over here and he starts wrapping up a hemp rope around there, and he splices in a second piece of rope from one of the other party members in order for that to work. All he had was a 50-foot piece of rope. That's now going to be used up in order to get you guys close. Has anybody got a second bit? I think Damien does. So we'll go ahead and use up their ropes. All right. And now you guys have a piece of rope. Yep, because you need both of them to get there. You now have a piece of rope that goes over here. Let me quickly draw it for you. So there's this rope that drops over to here and then goes over the edge and drops down into the cavern below. So you've got this thin piece of rope that you guys can now shinny down to get down into the floor down below you.
Just have a bad feeling about this. Someone's gonna die.
I got a bad feeling about this. Okay, Han, that's great.
Why don't you go first so you can do the old cleric's featherfall on whoever?
Yeah, sure.
Does anybody have featherfall ready to rock and roll?
I don't. Switch that out.
Anybody have acrobatics?
I think I
have athletics.
Mine's at least decent.
And a pair of wings if I need them.
Well,
someone set up like a bed sheet or a trampoline at the bottom.
There you go. A really big pillow. That's what you guys need to do. You guys need to set up a really big pillow. There we go. Let me go and move you guys over. So now you've got a pretty good view of what this looks like. I'll bring you over here with the rest of the party. Damien offers to go down first because he's Damien. But Ruger, your offer to go down with because you are the one with wings. So if worst comes to worst, you could always pop those out and find yourself going very gracefully to the ground and not landing with a curious thud, which is much more likely to happen with the other folks that are jumping off of the wall. Would you like to go ahead and do so?
I mean, with my athletics, I could probably make it down just fine.
Yes, you can.
But-
So let's go ahead and have you start trying to climb down then. Put you over here by the rope. Go ahead and give me, as you begin to proceed down, give me a DC 15 check against your athletics, please. Your athletics is pretty strong. You'll probably make this pretty easily. Yes, you do. So without any difficulty at all, you manage to make your way down the roughly hewn rope. As you go down, you realize as you're lowering down, as you see the cross section of the floor in front of you as you're going down, as bless you, as your light spell continues to burn, you notice that you can see that the floor clearly cracked. This is not supposed to be here. At least it wasn't here when they first put the floor in. That it looks like this definitely broke away. And as you get down to the bottom, you see the floor pattern that was up above you in the larger cavern is continued on the floor down below your feet. And as you look over towards your light, you see two bodies lying on the floor that are not moving and lying flat on the floor itself. One of them
I let the party know about them.
One of them looks vaguely familiar in the light. You literally landed the rock right next to the person.
Well, is it a mystery who it is?
You can see from here, it is Sildar.
Check his pulse. Is he alive?
As you go over and you look at him, you realize that he is unconscious and is very, very close to death.
I immediately do a lay on hands.
Okay. Sildar can go as high as I think it's 20 hit points. Yes. He is actually at 0 hit points right now. He was dying. How much of your lay on hands do you want to put into him?
I'll give him like 5 and then try to get the clerics down to heal him some more.
All right. Go ahead and take 5 out of your lay on hands, and as you do so, you notice that Sildar opens his eyes and looks up at you. He's clearly still a little stunned, and when he sees you, he looks really confused. So you guys hear him calling up that he's down at the bottom, that Sildar is at the bottom of this ledge that you guys have just found.
Is anybody else going to join me down there?
Yeah, I can. One of the clerics can go. It sounds like you guys need a healer.
Yep, and the next person to go down was actually Damien. He was going to be there.
Oh, great.
Damien blows his roll, unfortunately. He only rolls a 12, and about, let's see, the D6. Where was he when he fell? He was only 20 feet off the ground when he fell, but his fall ended up taking from him 3 hit points as he falls the last little way as he misses one of the knots in the rope and lands down on his butt and ends up missing a few hit points as a result and a few pride points. And he runs over next to you and he's like, "What the hell's this guy doing here?"
I'm asking myself the same thing. You want to check out the other fellow and see if he's helpful or harmful or alive or dead?
So, what about the rest of the party? You guys going to go down there and join them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Cauldron, go ahead and give me acrobatics or athletics, whichever is best.
One of the clerics can go first.
to heal you in case you land on your butt. Understood. Elrin or Angelina, which one of you guys wants to go down? It's a DC 15, athletics or acrobatics, whichever one is stronger.
It's always, where's the cleric and not how is the cleric, okay?
Yes, always is. Where's the cleric? Not how is the cleric.
All right, I'm going to have Elrin go first because Angelina... Actually, I'm going to have Angelina go first. She's the stronger healer.
Understood. All right, Angelina goes down. Give me a roll for her athletics, please. Or, like I said, athletics or whichever one's better. Wow. Gracefully, almost ballerina-like, gets to the bottom, looks over at Damien with a "this wasn't that hard" look on her face. And she proceeds to walk over to see what's going on.
Who's the other fellow?
Well, the other fellow is clearly a dwarf with a very heavy, shaggy beard, not wearing armor, but he looks vaguely familiar to you. And the two, you and Damien, start comparing notes, and you're both sure you've seen this guy before, but it's very clear that he is dead. And he's cold, so he's been dead for a while, unfortunately.
So that's not
To dead
Gundren.
people.
No, it is not Gundren. But he looks vaguely
Okay.
familiar to you.
Should Angelina heal him first, or can we just get the rest of the party down there first?
Well, how about having Elrin do her roll now?
Right.
Elrin,
Right.
you slip coming down the rope. The rope is 60 feet long. Roll a d6 for me. The higher the number, the higher up the rope you are.
No!
You were 40 feet in the air when you fell.
Oh, great. I'm going to be ouchie.
Roll 3d6 for me, please.
No! No! No!
Ooh.
You
What the
landed
heck?
very, very badly. You landed on an outcropping of rocks that catches you right between the shoulder blades and knocks the wind out of you. And as a result, you ended up losing 15 hit points from the fall. And it really smart when you landed, unfortunately.
Great. Great. That's what we needed.
Yep.
Good,
Again,
good time for potions, folks.
It's always where is the cleric, not how is the cleric.
Man.
All right, Cauldron. Give me your roll, please, as you come on down.
Alrighty.
And Cauldron, not surprisingly, effortlessly makes her way down. A thief that wouldn't be able to climb a rope would not be much of a thief at all. You managed to make it down to the bottom of the rope. And the last one to come down is going to be Druger, and he's trying to set up that classic slip knot type of situation so that he can get his rope back when he gets to the bottom. He does his roll against his athletics. And he manages to make it down without falling. And he hits the ground next to you and manages to pick up most of the pieces of rope so that both he and Damien have the rope back in their inventory. Let's see. Nope, I don't want that. I'm drawing on things I'm not supposed to. All right. Druger makes his way over a little bit. Cauldron, you can get closer if you'd like. Like I said, you do notice that Sildar is lying there. He's trying to catch his breath. He's trying to figure out what on earth you guys are doing there. And then there's this other dwarf lying clearly very, very, very dead on the ground next to him.
Are there obvious exit out of this area?
Give me a perception roll, please.
Hey y'all, I'm here.
Hey, Damien.
I just want to let you all know that I will not be able to control my character, so I'll be able to dictate but not control. So I'll have to ask you to
happy to do your rolls for you.
Thank you.
All right, Ruger, great roll. You do actually notice that it appears that there is a slight depression in the wall here and a slight depression in the wall here, but there appears to be stone immediately behind those two areas.
Did the floor on the other side of this cave-in continue up on the level we were just at, 60 feet up?
No, when you guys checked the walls, it appeared that that's where everything ended, was there. The only places where there appear to be any kind of anything that even remotely looks like an entrance or an exit is one here and one kind of over here.
Okay.
But like I said, immediately behind you, behind that, about 3 or 4 feet in, it appears to be a stone wall again.
Elrin, do you need a potion or a healing spell or?
Yeah, I'm just gonna heal myself so that Angelina can focus on healing Hujibawi Mr. Man. What's his name? Sildar.
Well, we might want to use potions as much as we can at this point,
Okay.
and save some of our spell slots for.
Yeah. I was just
what
worried
might be
because like
coming.
the potions don't seem to be super duper effective. But I will
True.
see how much of this. Oh, I have no potions. Okay.
Well, if you get a potion, I can probably help you with the rest of it.
I'll have Angelina give her a potion. I think Angelina's the one with the big.
I believe you're right. I think she had the large cache of potions. But
we're down to
4.
2 potions though.
I have 2 in my inventory.
She has 2 potions of regular healing and 2 potions of greater healing.
Yeah, I have 2 potions of healing and a potion of greater. You can have one of my potions of healing.
I'll just have Angelina give it to her, just because she's got spells to heal. So, okay, I'm just gonna bink.
Also, does anybody need the magic whetstone to enchant one of their weapons in a pinch? Like Angelina or Elrin?
I mean, we're mostly spellcasters, so I don't see us using our weapons, but if you wanna, yeah, I don't have like a sword, I have like a morning star, and Angelina generally uses her crossbow.
So,
right.
So just so you know, 2 things, Steve. One, it needs to be, you need to prepare it the night before. That needs to be used. That needs, because you need to, like, it takes time to do that. It's not just something you do it once or twice, then boom, you walk in and it's working. You need to do that the night before. So during your camp last night is when you guys would have wanted to do that, number 1. And number 2, it only works on edged weapons.
Oh, it won't work on like spiked weapons, like a morning star or a ranged weapon.
No, it's meant to be used on a blade, something that's bladed, because it's a whetstone. You don't. I mean, while you could try using a whetstone on an arrow, you'd probably ruin the arrow.
Right. Cauldron, your daggers are magic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just hang on to it.
Awesome. So, did you take the potion out of inventory there, Elrin? I see that your hit points are back up, so I see that you did. Have we taken those out of inventory? We have. Good. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So you're still got a little bit of an owie, but for the most part, you're feeling significantly better than you did earlier on when you fell, which was pretty doggone bad. So that's feeling a lot better right now. So Damien starts looking over this character that was on the ground, and he's like, I swear I know where this guy is from. Sorry, Damien, you're here. You notice that the dwarf on the ground in front of you looks really, really familiar. But as you start looking at him and that thought's crossing your mind, Sildar goes, well, what are you guys doing here? Last I heard, you'd run off to Axholm.
Which one was Axholm?
Axholm.
Which one was asshole? Which one was asshole?
I believe it was you, Damien. It was the place you guys went, the old Dwarven Military Institution.
Oh, yeah. It's been a hot second.
Yeah, I came to back in Fendlin, and I was sitting over at the pub when all of a sudden this fella came walking in. Don't know if you recognize him, but this is Gundren's younger brother. He said that he had a map that was leading me up to the entrance of Wave Echo Cave, and he was gonna go up with or without me. I really wanted him to wait for you guys to come on back, but sadly, he was not gonna take no for an answer. I had just woken up from that bad run-in I had with the undead and the sister fixing me up, but I figured if I didn't go with him, he could come up here and disappear and no one would know where the entrance was, and the very least I'd know how to get back up here and lead you folks when you came back to town. Unfortunately, we were coming down the rope when all of a sudden the rope broke and we came on down, and sadly, he didn't land too good. Neither did I. But that doesn't explain how we got so roughed up. There was this green glowing light that came through the room, and a screaming voice. And next thing I know, I'm waking up with you guys looking down on me.
Green glowing light. Do you think you did anything to provoke that light? Was there anything that triggered that light, or was it literally just your presence?
I think it may have had something to do with the fact that we were making it clear we were going to try to go in one of the entrances. Those two dimples you see on either side of this, those used to be how you made your way into the rest of the cave. Where we're standing on used to be a good 50 feet above our heads. You'd come down a ladder to get a staircase on either side to get into the rest of the cave. We were talking about that as we were descending, and the next thing I know, boom, I land, green light, out cold.
I wonder why it's not here then. But, yeah, here we are. We're trying to get in. I'm glad we found you. Glad you're okay. How's he doing in terms of health? Oh, he's not great. I'm going to have Angelina do some healing on him.
All right. Go ahead and cast healing.
One moment.
All right, so you heal him for another 4 points. He's looking a lot better than he did before, that's for sure. Actually, a lot higher than that because of her bonuses. That actually improved him by 10 points. So that's how much better her healing capabilities are.
Thank goodness.
Yep. So he's feeling a lot more spry. So he decided, well, if you guys don't mind, I think I'll get up off the floor. Doesn't exactly the best view in the house looking down at the ceiling from the bottom. How long have I been down here?
We have no idea. We just got here.
Well, as you guys quickly compare notes, you realize that he's been lying on the floor of this place for at least 2 days unconscious.
Oh my god. Does he need, like, rations or anything?
Well, he's pretty hungry. As you guys wake him up, he starts sipping on water and drinking. Angelina probably recommends that, seeing as how he fell a good long way, it might not be a great idea for him to try and eat too much or drink too much as a result of the fall that he took.
Well, we're trying to go in now. We've got the key. And wondering if that might give us a bit of an easier time than you had getting into this place.
As soon as you say that we have the key and you're trying to get in, you notice floating above you guys in the air is a character that you haven't exactly seen before.
Hey.
Floating in the air above you, and you notice that the air has immediately started to get colder. And as you do, the two dimples in the walls immediately begin to pulsate and radiate a dark, menacing energy. The character above you begins floating back and forth in sort of a very odd sort of way, floating back and forth in their in the position that they're floating in the ceiling. Very hard for you to get a good read on them.
Oh, great.
And
that's fun.
And it begins to speak. You are not welcome.
For a fact that there's a lot of people trying to get in here that aren't welcome. And we're probably the only people that are going to come through here with good intentions. So, you destroy us, you're destroying your only chance of saving this cave and saving this forge. It's up to you.
I am the guardian of Wave Echo Cave. Leave or be destroyed.
Okay, well, okay, if you're the guardian, like that, you should know how many malevolent creatures are trying to get in right now. Do you want our help? We're here to save this place. We're trying to protect this cave just as much as you are.
All right, give me a persuasion check, please.
Oh God, I'm not good at that. Somebody else should talk.
Well, you're the one who popped her mouth open, but she rolls extremely well.
Heyo, I don't want to hear it.
You rolled a 19 with your bonus gets you to a 20.
You persuaded him.
I will give you one chance. Then you must leave. No one may enter the cave. I have guarded it for 400 years. Only the Lord of Vandolin may enter.
Okay, so two questions. Who is the Lord of Phandalin? And the second question is, how many have gone past you? Because we are the understanding that this place is being riddled by cultists and dragon worshippers.
The Lord Tresendor and his family are ended. The line broken. The usurpers are under attack by my minions. They will be eradicated.
Cool.
Cauldron?
Yes?
You notice that your key is quite literally pulsating in your hands right now.
What do we do with this?
Well, that's exactly.
Sildar looks up at this guy and goes, I always thought this guy was a myth. Oh my gods. This is Mormesk.
Right, I will mute myself. Can we show him the key?
You can.
Aldrin, do you want to do the honors?
We have the key. I hold it up so that he can see.
You hold the key up, and he kind of observes you for a moment and says, You are not authorized to use the key to the forge. The forge door bears a heavy price.
We have other items from your family, Mormesk. Who is supposed to give authorization?
When you say things from his family, you notice that the pulsating green light coming off of him flickers brightly for a second and then seems to get smaller for a moment. Only the Lord of Vandolin may pass. What items do you speak of?
I think we should show him the ring and the I forget what it's called.
The
The
gauntlet.
the other item from the.
So you're talking. So Elrin, you walk over and you press the puzzle box in the manner in which Dremic had taught you how to do it, and the two doors in the middle slide out, one to the left, one to the right. The one on the right contains the ring, the one on the left contains the piece of lace.
I think we're here to shut down the forge, not open it up.
Shut it down because of all the evil caca that's happening in it right now?
Right, and I suspect the forge is not such a good thing either.
Gotcha.
So as you guys are saying these things, begins to float closer to the floor. You notice that the green light emanating off of him has started to become significantly less intense, and it's become more of a wash of white with tinges of green on it. What do you have there? And he floats over to you, Elrin, and he begins to examine what you have in the puzzle box. And he sees the piece of cloth, and he sees the ring, and he picks them up from the box and holds one in either hand and studies them for a moment. And you are not sure, but you're fairly certain it feels like the air is tingling a little bit. And he says, I have not seen these for hundreds of years. Whereby did you find them?
They were given to us by their owners. No longer living, of course.
Yes. They would be gone. And in so doing, condemned me to this place. His hands tighten around the two artifacts. I will allow you to enter the cave, but know you this. You are not the only ones who seek the forge. Others have come from the surface, trying like thieves to steal its secrets. My loyal servants prevent them from achieving that goal, but you hold their key. The key to the forge may only be destroyed upon the anvil. You swear you will destroy it?
I believe that's why we came here to do that.
Yep.
And we would free you if you would allow us.
I am beyond redemption. It is not in your power to save me.
Well, perhaps not, but my belief is no one's beyond redemption. And we were thinking to free you, not save you.
Your sentiment is kind, but 400 years too late. Proceed. The undead here are under my command. They will not hinder you as long as you remain true to your pledge. But beware, many other creatures have invaded the forge and the cave over these hundreds of years. Not safe for the living. I have no mastery over all but the undead. I will meet you again in the room that leads to betray my trust and feel my vengeance. And in so doing, that last warning, Mormesk begins to float up towards the ceiling. He gets all the way to the ceiling, which now is well over 100 feet above you guys, where you are. And he says one last thing to you. Remember, the Forge is evil. Only through the sacrifice of innocent blood may its fires be relit. Only innocent blood. And in so saying, Mormesk vanishes through the ceiling above you.
Well, thank the gods, we have nobody innocent here.
I was gonna say, we might want to get the owl out of the pocket dimension, give him a good old smackaroo then. Hey, guys, that went kind of good. And the we don't have to worry about the undead now, so that's one thing we can cross off on the list of things here that want to kill us.
They might even want to help us if somebody else is looking for the key while we're here.
Yeah.
Elvin, you basically pulled a freaking Aragorn.
Y'all, listen. This little cleric's got it sometimes.
Can that just be my character? Can Damien just be a fourth wall breaking knight?
Okay, so he
It's like,
didn't
you're
make it
probably
as
wondering
Geralt.
how I got
He didn't
here.
make it as Geralt, so now he's gonna try and make it as Deadpool. I get it.
He's basically he's Wade of Rivia.
All right, let's see where we can go.
So as you see the light diminish, you see that the walls at the back of the quote-unquote dimples in the caves fall away, and you can see that there are in fact pathways behind them.
Anyone want to flip a coin? Northwest, southeast?
Do you want to use Divine Sense, or isn't Divine Sense still on for you?
It might have worn off by now, but I could try it again.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. It might come in handy later. We could just flip a coin now if you want.
I imagine we'll end up looking at both ways, but where we start is anybody's guess.
All right,
I
wait.
was trying
How
to
do
say, is there any way for because of the way that my character tracks animals and stuff like that, is there anything that's possibly in the air, like an odor perhaps, that possibly can give away which direction we should go? I'm gonna break the fourth wall again, like Gandalf says, follow your nose.
Well, so interesting you would say that. Go ahead and give me a perception roll there, my good friend.
Give me a perception roll then.
I'll do it for him.
Oh,
I can control Damien, by the way.
Perfect. Yeah, I gave you guys the ability to control each other's characters.
Oh, actually, I can't roll for him.
Oh, you can't? Oh, I thought I had given you guys that ability. So,
it has been vetoed.
It has been vetoed. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. One quick second here. I thought I had set... Okay, I thought I'd done that for you guys. I feel badly about that. All right, so let me go and roll that for you there, Damien. So your perception is pretty doggone good. You roll.
Nope. No, it's not. No, it's not.
But you can't pick up you can't really pick up anything discernible. But you do notice that the entrance to the north doesn't smell like anything that you could perceive. And the doorway to the south doesn't smell like anything you can perceive. So you don't smell
probably
anything.
So, but basically those two But basically, the other hallways do smell like something, but those two don't.
Well, it's the only 2 hallways you can see right now. Those are the only 2 openings in front of you right
I,
now.
th- I thought I was told there's east and west.
There's this one here, and there's this one here, which is more northeast, northwest, and southeast.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Well, let's flip a coin. I'm trying to figure out how we did that the last time. I don't see the dice so nice thing. How do I flip a coin, DM?
You can roll
got
through
it.
the dice.
Yep, there you go.
Oh,
There you
did
go.
that? Oh, cauldron.
1d2. That's how you do it.
Oh wait, we didn't decide which one was 1 and 2. I mean, I'm assuming the one on the south is 2.
Yeah. That's
All
what I
right.
was kind of thinking.
All right. Well, onward we go. Should we do the usual marching order, but with Druger up front this time?
Certainly. So did you? So which one? Maybe I misunderstood. Where are you guys? Which
We're
direction are
going
you guys
to the
going?
more southern one.
The southern one. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay.
Did we want to do anything with Gundren's brother, or is he just like R.I.P. so sad?
Well, he's kind of dead and stiff.
All right. So no use to us. Is there anything on him that might be useful?
As you go through the body checking, it's basically camp stuff. That's
Boy,
pretty
he
much
really
it.
thought he was gonna just march up in here with nothing but his pants on. Poor guy. R.I.P. All right, onwards.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Let me quickly. Whoops. What did I do?
Oh,
We're still
Everybody okay?
here.
Okay. No, sorry. We had a power blip here. Our power went down for a split second. All right, hey guys, I need to take. It is 4 o'clock. We have been at this for a little bit over an hour, so I'm going to take a moment for us to take a quick bio break, guys.
sure. How many minutes, DM?
Let's really take 5 minutes. Just 5.
All right.
Unless does anybody need anything longer than 5?
5 is
No,
fine.
Probably
that
not.
should be good.
Awesome, great. So let's go ahead and take a break in the action, and we'll see you guys back in 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, 5. Hey DM, are you there?
I am.
This is so funny. I just went out to the
So we are waiting for Steve to get back on. But if you guys have not been watching Critical Role, this season's actually pretty good, pretty funny. I strongly advise you going back and watching some of the earlier episodes because there were a few scenes in there that were just absolutely drop dead hilarious. And there's a character. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really like the doll character. The one that kind of is like Jack Skellington.
Oh, is she a doll? Okay, I've just like.
I think
some of my friends are interested in Critical Role, but I could never watch stuff like that.
Well, I leave it playing in the background sometimes, like when I'm walking the dog and so forth. And what I'll do is Matthew Perkins. By the way, Matthew, big shout out to your show if you're watching this, because I know he comes in and looks at the recordings. He does a summary on his channel.
Yeah, I've seen it. Or yeah. I've seen that he's been doing it.
Yeah, he kind of takes about like 20-30 minutes out of the 3-4 hours of gameplay. Like in the first one, the big scenes were the introductions of all the characters in the first episode, which were kind of fun. The construct that's played by Sam is hilarious. Completely not good for the under 18 crowd, but totally hilarious. And the battle that they had with the orc, which was in episode 2, the guy, that guy they meet at the end of the first one, who's gonna be like, he strikes me like Batman from Batman Beyond, is who the original Batman. He's now very old, but he's still tough as nails, and under the right.
How was his character?
The old guy. I just drew a blank on the old orc character's name.
Bruce Wayne.
But they had this like
whole. Oh, his past character from season 2, or
no. Mark Mercer is an NPC. He's the guy who's their patron in this one.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, he's trying to hire the party to get to the bottom of some political shenanigans that are going on, which is putting the good people of this city at risk. And it's really, really very good storytelling. And the combat was really intense and really good. So let's see, how do you clear the chat? How do you clear the chat? There's a way to clear chat. I just don't know how it is. Chat appearance. Is there not a way to clear the chat? There should be, right?
Why do you want to clear it?
Oh, there you are. You're back. Great. So we can proceed. We can go on. Well, because it's actually blocking part of the screen, which is why I kind of want to. Here we go. So how do you clear this? Opacity. Let's make this. There we go. Let's make this smaller. Boink. We'll save it. There we go. So now it's not taking up so much of the real estate on the Twitch stream. There we go. So guys, we are back into our campaign here. So you guys are faced with the 2 different doors. Which door did we decide we were going to go in, party members?
South.
This one.
The one to the south? All right. So, marching order, please.
Did we want someone to go in front of me? One of the dwarfs?
Anybody want to go first? Anybody? Anybody at all?
I nominate Druger to go first. And we can kind of cocoon Sildar since he's still kind of hurting.
Gotcha.
He can stay between the clerics.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, so our good buddy here, Druger, moves up to the front. And Damien pulling you in here behind.
Oh, we're paused still, so I can't move myself.
There you go. Sildar is now in the party. He's going to move into the middle near where the clerics are because he's not real good at trying to do this stuff on his own. All right, so moving.
Wait, can the paladin and or Damien get behind to guard the rear?
You guys typically put Damien in the rear, so let's do that, and we'll move Ruger up front. how about this? We got these. So now this is the way the party structure looks like.
Good to me.
Sildar could guard the rear.
Well, he's in the rear with Damien. So let's bring you guys in here. Unfortunately, the hallways sometimes get a little narrow, but you guys are able to kind of make your way through. And you get to this first kind of entranceway here, and already you start noticing a significant difference in the way that the floor is looking. So from that perspective, one second here, you guys notice that you now have actual defined walls, even though the walls are clearly natural hue. Once again, it's that classic kind of dwarven construction where there's a little bit of the natural being completely infused with the constructed, if you will. So you guys start proceeding down into your the hallway that's in front of you, and the tunnels, they're about 30 feet high in this area, and you start noticing ahead of you that there's like a mist at the end of the hallway, and you're not sure, but you're pretty sure what it is it's actually ice fog. So you start to proceed down the hall. You get to this first entranceway. You can see that there's more of the natural stone kinds of areas along with these walls that you're looking at. And you get kind of this entranceway here, and the room starts to open up. And as it starts to open up, that's where you start to see that the ceiling here goes up significantly higher. And you kind of can't make out exactly where the ceiling is because you start to lose it in this ice fog that has an odd kind of natural luminescence to it. Druger looks up and goes, "We're probably sitting at the bottom of an ice ceiling. In other words, this is the bottom of a glacier. Above us is probably miles of ice, and what we're seeing is as the reflection of the sun makes its way through all the different bits of ice, it comes down here into this cavern, and it kind of forms a natural kind of ice fog. So I swear it's coming down and illuminates it from literally hundreds of feet above." And as he's sitting there kind of acting like he's so cool and liking to brag about all this, you guys proceed into the room. Who's gonna be? We're gonna have to. I need to get to the right map here. Hold on. I'm sorry. I kept trying to move everybody by using the streaming window, which isn't going to work. So as you guys come in here, Eva, you hear a strange sound in the background. You hear
Where is it coming from?
It seems to be coming from all around. And do you tell the party?
Yeah.
Okay. So Druger draws his sword and starts getting, "I don't like it. I don't like it." Sorry, I'm drawing distances. I don't know why. I don't like it when I start hearing all these things off in the background. Makes me nervous. And just as he says that, all of a sudden, a bunch of creatures come swooping in front of you.
In the hell are those?
Those
Those
appear to be
eyeballs?
sturges.
This is what they are. Think of if a bat and a mosquito had a very evil love child.
We've met these before.
You have indeed.
I think we would know these.
Yes, you know these all too well as they swoop down on the party from all directions.
I remember the Spirit Guardians worked really well on these.
Yes, they did. And as these ones swoop down, a bunch more come literally out of the woodwork in front of you. And in the immortal words of all DMs, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to roll for initiative.
Makiko, are you able to control, or do you need me to roll for you?
It would be great if you could roll for me.
Right.
Thank you. What'd I get?
You got a 15.
Awesome. So we now find ourselves in combat. All right. We need to have some really good combat medicine. So let's go with that. There we go. Here we are. We find ourselves now in combat. Was that one last person get to re-roll their all right, Ruger, you've got your initiative
And
down there as
Cauldron.
well. And Cauldron. So the very first person in combat.
Oh, yeah, I need to
surprise-
get rolled.
Oh, that's right. You do. Let me find you. There we go.
Oh, R.I.P.
All right. Well, for once, Damien, you are able to go first, my friend. You actually are first in combat. What would you like to do? Damien. Did we lose Damien?
Damn it! Sorry, no, hold on. I was trying to see the screen. I was trying to see what the heck's going on my screen. It's like I'm having to go between two different screens right now. So hold on. Let me take a look. Oh my God! Stop flipping. Just give me my screen. Where am I? Okay, well, clearly there's one right in front of me. Like there's one directly in front of me.
That
So
is
I am
correct.
going to. So I'm going to use 2 attacks. I'm going to use green. Wait, hold on. What was Steve? You were just saying. What are these guys susceptible to? Did you say that these guys are susceptible to flame?
Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians. Got it. Okay.
So you
that's-
have one on this side, Kenji, Damien, and you have one on this side, Damien. Which one did you want to use?
So I'm going to go attack the one that is directly in front of me, the one that is right in front of me.
Okay.
I'm going to put the green hex blade on my. I'm going to put the green flame on my blade, and then I'm going to attack the one that's right in front of me.
Fantastic. Okay, so here we go with your attack. First and foremost, we are casting Green Flame Blade. There we go. That has been cast. And then we attack with your sword. And I'm assuming you mean Talon, your +1 war bonded sword?
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Here we go.
And that one does the most damage as is. So.
Right. So here we go. We start with your attack.
Oh.
And unfortunately, you missed the first one. Rolling. So your green flame blade does not connect with that creature, unfortunately.
But, yeah, I was about to say, like, because of that, I think that's the end of my attack. Because like I used my 2 attacks. One was to put to cast a spell, and then one was to attack. So that's the end of my turn.
That
was fun.
Well, sorry, sir. Sometimes you're the windshield.
I'm first, aha! Miss.
Sometimes you're the bug. Cauldron, you're next.
Alrighty. I would like to attack this one.
Cool. All right. And you miss with your dagger attack going wide. These things are small, and in the fog, you guys can't get a good grip on them, can't get a good read on where they're going. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere, they're up, they're down. And your first...
Then on my bonus action, I would like to use my rapier.
There you go. Going for the shish kebab. And you hit. Give us the damage attack. Oh,
ooh, nice sneak attack.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like super dead. So it goes straight through, not even bothering to pause for directions as you hear what sounds like a very pathetic eek as you go right through the center of this thing with your lunge thrust. Down it goes. All right. That's the end of your actions. Yes. Any reaction you're doing or anything like that?
Nope, not at this moment.
Gotcha. Ruger, you're on deck. You're up, sir.
Okay, booming blade and the attack on the one closest to me.
Perfect. Go ahead. Targeting him.
If someone keeps breathing into the mic, can someone please stop doing that?
It's probably me.
It's sad.
I pressed. Nothing came up.
There's your silver longsword. Press attack. The attack button in the discussion thread in the chat window. There you go. Oh, and you do hit. So roll the damage button next.
Oh.
So there is a loud boom as you strike with thunderous effect against this poor hapless creature and do roughly 30 times the damage that it had. And now, as a result, this poor thing is now splattered to the four winds, quite literally splattered to the four winds, and is now extraordinarily dead. You splash its entrails against the cave wall behind it. Your next attack, sir.
Isn't Booming Blade his
That's
action,
right. That's
technically?
right. Sorry. That's right. Always forget that. All right. Next person in combat is dead. This one's not. So this one decides to target Damien directly in front of him. And you see this flittering, flapping creature come whipping towards you, and it tries to attack. And it rolls a 23 plus its bonus, 17 plus its bonus is 23. What is your armor class, sir? Your armor class is 18. That is enough for a hit. And as a result, it does 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage. And here we go. There's the 4. Which he does 6 points of blood drain against you. But that also means he is now attached to your body. You now have a blood-sucking piece of vermin physically attached to your body. You have an option.
You need to take me out to dinner first before you get this attached.
Exactly. Now, once it's attached to you, it can continue to draw blood every round unless you take time to physically remove him from your body and do something either like kill him or throw him into the wall, or if he gets full and decides he wants to leave. So you now have a friend who is now attached to you on your arm, sir. All right. Next creature is dead. Oops, sorry. All right. Let me catch back up to where we were. Boom, 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 boom. This creature decides to target Druger because it has no sense. And it tries to attack. And it misses. The next creature in line. Oops. Okay. There we go. The one that is directly in front of Angelina targets her, flittering around her head.
That's what I
And
thought.
it misses, even with the +5. That is not enough for it to hit. All right. Moving to the next person. That is the aforementioned Angelina. Angelina, it is now your turn.
Alrighty. There is the one that's right in front of me that's looking like it's ready to get it going. I'm thinking, would I be able to just use? Would it be smart to use Sacred Flame here?
It
So
could
I
be.
think you should save up your spell slots for any healing that we're inevitably going to need
But
in
Sacred
this.
Flame is a cantrip, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't cost a
Doesn't
spell
cast or
slot.
anything.
No, that's what I mean. That's why I say, like, let's not waste Spirit Guardians on some like things this
Right.
small.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see what
yeah.
you're saying.
So yeah, I'll use Sacred Flame then,
All right.
All right.
cause I'm gonna let Damien figure it out himself.
Yay!
Yikes.
Assholes.
Yikes. All right. So you do 8 points of damage to the Sturge in
Yay!
front of you. The Sturge in front of you only had 4. And a
Oh my
screaming ball of flame. The creature that was in front of you is now dead.
Nice.
Yikes.
It goes up in a little poof of smoke and flame as you blast it with Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
Elrin, it is now your turn.
Is there any way I can attack the one that's on Damien right now or is that a disadvantage kind of thing?
You
He's
could
like,
try.
no, it's not
You could try and pull it off from him, but he's also, you'd have to make your way through the other party, and you have one directly in front of you, which would open you up to an opportunity attack.
All right, great. I'm just gonna get the one in front of me. Sorry, Damien. Figure it out.
I feel like Santa Claus in that Boondocks episode. No one's got Santa Claus's back.
Ooh, 8 points. Wow, a big fireball blasts into the Sturge in front of you, who only had 3 points, as he takes 11 points of damage and immediately bursts into a horrific amount of flame in front of everyone. You just hear this, and the poor Sturge is no longer. Moving on to the next person in battle. He's dead. But we're now to the next one that's still alive, which is looking at the big fat juicy dwarf in front of him and goes, "Yeah, I could nosh on that. I could have a piece." And he tries to do his attack, and that's a 10. He does not win. He does not manage to bite. And he swings over the dwarf. The dwarf flaps his hand in front of him and manages to knock the Sturge off balance. Sildar reaches over and grabs the one that is attached to Damien. It's attached on your arm. He reaches down and grabs it. This is a strength attack against that. Ability check. And he rolls an 18. He does, in fact, manage to grab the Sturge and throws it into the ground, doing 1d6 damage, which he does 3 points of damage, which is exactly as much damage as this bad boy can control. So you now owe our good friend Sildar dinner, as he is now no longer alive. He's quite dead. Well, not Sildar. The Sturge. The Sturge is dead. But there's more to come. The dwarf, being in the front, is finding himself the center of all kinds of attention as the next creature tries to attack him. Remember to put my bonus in this time. Rolling. Oh, and he rolls a 19. And our good friend Druger only has an 18, which means he does manage to get attacked. 1d6 of bloodletting damage. And he gets taken for 5 points of damage. Fortunately, though, there's nothing else that he necessarily has to worry about in terms of disease because he is a dwarf. They're a little bit more resilient against things like that. So he now has an attached Sturge to him, and we'll show that by putting some hearts next to him to show that he is in love indeed with the dwarf that he has bitten. Quite attached to him, quite frankly. The next one also decides that, hey, you know, that looked good. I'll try the same thing. So he decides he's going to try and bite our good friend Druger as well. He comes in with his attack and rolls a 24 and manages to do a very, very healthy bite on the poor hapless dwarf and lands right next to his buddy and does 9 points of damage to Druger.
Oh, come on.
Druger now is looking a little bit worse for wear. He's like, when exactly did we lose control of this situation? And he's now got 2 of these bloodsuckers attached to him, trying to drain more blood from him. Moving on to the next character is in fact Druger. Druger tries to grab the first one that is in front of him. And he's going to try and rip off the one that is attaching to him immediately to the south. Considering how strong he is, this should be pretty easy. And he rolls an 11, just barely enough. These things are very wiggly, but he manages to get one of them off and throws it into the ground for 1d6 plus his bonus. He throws it into the ground with a curious thud as there's this whomping sound as you see the Sturge now turns into what looks remarkably like a pink lawn dart sticking up out of the ground. He then tries to grab the second one next to him. Again, these things are pretty vile. They're stinky, they're smelly, and they're kind of creepy. Tries to reach over and grab the second one. Needs to roll a 10 or better, and he can't quite get a grip on the second one that is now still proceeding to wiggle and jiggle and enjoy its little snack of dwarven-y goodness. So that is it for, and Druger's not going to action surge, so that's as good as we're going to get out of him. Moving down, all of a sudden we now have new ones coming into the party. As it flops down from the ceiling.
Like we walked into a swarm of gnats.
Yep, kinda. Really big, ugly, pink, furry ones that like to dig into your skin with a 3-inch proboscis.
Is there any way to figure out where these guys are coming out of? We gotta be able to plug up those holes somehow.
Well,
because they're just gonna keep coming out.
They're coming out of the fog, so it's kind of hard for you to tell, unfortunately.
Does anybody have like a divine light sort of thing that can cut through this cheese of fog?
You know you don't turn your high beams on during the fog.
That is the funniest thing I've heard said today, by the way.
But if it's divine, maybe it can clear, like, maybe this fog is like caused by evil.
No, it's
I think
caused
it's
by
been pretty established that it's by ice.
Quite. So,
fine. If it's ice, then fire. Let's get some fire.
No, we melt the roof.
The first one was not able to successfully bite, but the second one is going back after Druger again to trying to take the place. It's like, hey, the filling station on that arm is now open again. So it decides it's going to swing down and try to attack again. +5 on its attack. These things are very, very nimble. And rolls a 15, which is not enough. So he is not able to actually bite in. So the tipsy Sturge is not able to go and bite in on our good friend. But yet there's one more up here on the ceiling who comes flashing down over towards you, Cauldron, and decides to target you instead. Targeting you, he goes to try. What is your AC, by the way?
Something pretty high.
Yeah, you're
17.
17. All right, here we go. Here's his roll. And he rolls
Haha.
an 8. Wah, wah. He's not able to bite you as he comes flapping along and tries to land on your arm, and you easily just pull your arm to the side. It's like, ew, and he goes bouncing off of the wall next to you. So the last one in this round comes flapping down and goes after Angelina and decides that,
Oh,
the
no,
blonde,
no.
I like white meat, so I'm going after the blonde. Here we go. So he decides he's going to go and try and get the blonde. And he comes. And he rolls an 11, which is not enough. It says Cauldron, just because I forgot to highlight the Sturge. But
Come on, poo-poo.
yes, but he does not manage to do so. So the first round of combat is now complete. We are now on to the second round. All right.
DM,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I know I've only been here for like maybe an hour, but I have to dip.
That's quite all right.
So sorry. Please don't kill me, you guys.
That's quite all
I'll
right.
do my best.
Thank you so much. I will see you guys soon, and I'm gonna make sure to catch up on this because, yeah, don't turn on Divine Sense. I mean,
All right.
Divine Light.
All right. You mean Spirit Gardens? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, the light. It's the flashlight. Don't turn on any flashlights.
All right.
Alrighty, bye everybody.
All right.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Damien.
Why are we re-rolling initiative?
It's because they didn't have initiative, and when I accidentally clicked on the wrong icon, I accidentally rolled their initiative. So, but that's okay because all of them wound up at the front of the roll, which is fine because they're supposed to be at the end of the roll. So they're in the same place. They're just now at the front
Right.
of the line, which is not where they're supposed to be, and that's okay. It's fine. It actually works out just fine with them being there. All right, Damien. You, sir, have an option. The one that was on your arm is now dead. There's another one that is immediately over here behind you that was trying to attack the cleric.
Obviously, I'm going to try and attack the cleric, and not the cleric, the one that's trying to attack.
Hello?
You're trying to attack the
Hello?
cleric.
Why would no?
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Friendly fire! Friendly fire!
All right, your longsword attacks the Sturge. Here comes in your attack, sir.
Oh,
And
come on. That was
hits.
so close to being a nat 20.
So close. And does 12 points of damage to this poor hapless creature that only has 5 hit points. One of the tougher Sturges. And he explodes literally in this big poof of red powdery blood as you splatter him with the magical sword Talon. You have not taken any movement. You could step forward to try and get to get next to the cleric to get the next one in line if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, you take a step forward, targeting the next one that's in front of you, and using your extra attack. Boom. You manage to hit with longsword Talon. Let's see what Talon does. Talon does 9 points of damage, which is plenty. And the poor, helpless, hapless creature that is in front of you has now been sent into. Let's see, which one is that? He is now dead. Here he is.
Fudge yeah, that's what we
There
do.
you go.
We make meat sauce here. We make meat sauce.
Well, yes.
Ragu!
It does.
Let's say ragu.
It does remarkably look like you are making sausage. So yes,
Woo!
because there is bits of crinkly, crumbly, pink and furry bits of food all over the walls, which does sound an awful lot like a sausage factory. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is where the sausage gets made.
Cauldron, if you decide you want to kill him, I'm not going to stop you. All right, Cauldron, your turn.
I am going to strike at. Is he on Druger?
That one is not
This
on
guy-
Druger. Yeah, that was the one that was underneath him that was on Druger. This one is not attached.
Okay. I'd like to try to hit him.
Here comes the attack. Oops, you missed.
Then I'll try again.
Rapier. Ooh, and the rapier strikes. Go ahead and give me damage. Use versatile damage because you're using piercing, right?
Versatile is
It's
only
slashing. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
It's not a rapier. It's a longsword thing.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Sorry. Holy crap.
Because that's sneak attack.
Okay. That's a
Sneak attack!
that is a really, really dead Sturge. Let's see, which one is that, by the way? That is the Tipsy Sturge. Let me move him out of the way.
Let me just say that sounds like the name of that is the great name for a pub.
Yes, it
the
is.
Tipsy Sturge.
The Tipsy Sturge. Yeah, well, yeah, I like that kind of. That's actually kind of fun.
I'd drink there.
And it kind of makes sense with like the whole like sucking thing.
That works. I had not considered that. Awesome. All right, so you have managed to kill the second one. In fact, you shish kebab him, and he drops behind the other one on the floor, about 10 feet away. Druger decides to grab the other one that was attached to his arm because they're giving him the willies. He's starting to sound a little bit like a 10-year-old girl. Get it off! You know, as he's trying to go and reach over and get rid of this thing. He tries to reach down and grab. He misses again. Oh my god. Okay. All right. So this thing is still stuck in his arm, unfortunately, and is enjoying its free meal at his expense. All right. Moving along. We have to find one that's alive. Here we go. Elrin, your turn.
All right. I wish I had a fly swatter spell. I'm gonna scoot around the paladin. I'm just gonna go right here. And I'm gonna hit this one right in front of me.
Right on. Let him have it.
I'm gonna do the ye old sacred flame. Hasn't failed me yet, so.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Don't say that.
Sacred Flame. Boom! And you managed to do 5 points of damage. The creature floating in front of you suddenly bursts into flame. It was a very small one to begin with. And it very quickly screeches, evaporates into a pile of ash, and lands on the floor. Druger. Oh, sorry, we already did Druger. The Sturge that is immediately in front of Ruger targets him and unwisely tries to bite the Aasimar. A good roll, but not good enough. It manages to land on your arm as it tries to drive its proboscis in. It hits one of the bands of your armor, and you see it shake its head and fly back off, very irritated and perplexed as to why that bite didn't land. You can see that you've clearly irritated the poor creature. Angelina, your turn.
Alrighty. Same as always. I'm gonna go around, squeeze through Damien and Cauldron, and I'm gonna go here. And this one here is still attached
That is
to
correct.
Druger, yes. Then I'm gonna have her do a strength check. Maybe not the smartest move, but
All
I
right.
mean, just gonna be useful where I can.
You need to roll a 10 or better.
All right. Oh God, here we go. Fingers crossed. Hold on. Where's my strength? Do I have strength? Oh wait, yes, of course I have strength. Here we go. Whee!
You have no strength.
No, fuck.
All
I
right.
gave it a go. She gave it a good.
She's like, will
scholarly
you
try.
hold still? I can't get it off of you. And you see, he's like, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. All right. So this one that is attached rolls to drain more blood. And drains another 6 points of vitality from our good friend Druger Iron Shield. And then, having satiated itself, it disconnects and flies away.
Can they make an opportunity attack on it
Yes.
if they would like to?
Yep. But anybody, so that would be both Angelina and Druger both get a chance. Angelina, you are a warcaster, if I'm not mistaken. You have the opportunity to try and hit that thing with Sacred Flame as it was flying away. Or you can try using either Sacred Flame or you can use your weapons. Up to you.
Yeah, I'll use Sacred Flame. Which one was it?
Oh, sorry. He was.
Where did it go? Oh, there he is. Bing bong.
Sorry, I have a very persnickety almond stuck in my teeth that will not get loose. So please go ahead and target.
Here we go. I hope y'all like barbecue. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
She hits him with only 2 points of damage. He is still alive.
Are you kidding me?
He looks very PO'd, but that means that Druger now has the opportunity to try and hit him with an opportunity attack as he is flying away.
Unless he misses, this thing's gonna die.
So Druger grabs one of the throwing axes off of his vest and strikes at the creature as he's pulling away.
Oh.
And misses.
Boy, suddenly we are struggling.
And he vanishes off into the distance.
Whatever. I'll get that mat next time.
Well, you know, you can't kill them all. I know, I've tried. Sildar.
Watch me.
Yeah. Sildar takes a step over here to try and put himself into some sort of position to fight. That's 15, 20. So he can do that now. He targets this guy here, directly in front of him. Pulls out his longsword and tries to smack this thing as it's floating around in the air. And manages to hit.
Yes.
Oh, and hits for a meaty amount of damage. 3 times as much damage as the creature. Well, I'll teach you to mess around with my friends. As he goes and smacks the convinced Sturge into a convincing pile of mush. And you see him looking rather pleased with himself, as a matter of fact, from after having done that. Ruger, there's one left. The one
Where?
directly in front of you.
I don't see one in front of me.
You don't see one right here.
I do not.
Neither do I.
Interesting. He's there.
Can I target him if I can't see him?
How do you not see him? He's right there.
He's not there on my map.
You see him now? Right there?
Nope. Can I attack him with?
Can you just target it for him?
I can. So go ahead and just roll a d20 for it. What are you trying to? What kind of attack are you trying to do?
I'll just do 2 attacks with a sword.
All right. The first sword. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
It says you must target a token before rolling the attack. It's giving me a yellow warning bar.
Interesting. All right. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Give me a d20.
Sounds good.
You're normally +7 to hit with that. +8 to hit. So that's a 16. That is more than enough. Please roll your damage, which for your longsword is a what? A d8, and add 5. Fantabulous. So the damage that you ended up doing was 13. He only had 4 points of damage, which so you've hit him for several times over what he can possibly maximally handle. So the unremarkable is now quite remarkably dead. Congratulations, all of the creatures except for the one that had managed to bite you several times and fly off into the fog up near the ceiling have been eradicated.
Is he called the Smug Sturge now?
He's called the Smudged Sturge now because you've quite literally flattened him all over the wall.
I was thinking of the one that got away.
There you go.
The smudge.
The smudged one. So here we go. I will quickly hit end combat. Bink. And empty the combat tracker. I don't know about you guys, but that little carousel is so much easier for me to track combat in. I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Great.
So hopefully you guys also enjoyed that because that makes my life a lot easier too. So we'll keep working on these things. So, Damien, you are going to remain bleeding from that wound that you just took until one of you receives some sort of medical attention. So for every minute
Do I not have bandages?
you will have to. You do have a med kit, so you have to go and use your med kit and give me a successful roll using your med kit. So do you? I think you do have.
Well, I mean,
That's right. You.
if we
I
still
have to
got
roll
some,
for
if
you.
we still got some people, if you still got some people in front of me that like fighting and stuff, though, I'd rather not do that just yet because for all I know, I'm going to seriously. I could heal myself immediately and then get immediately do bleeding again. So I'm actually going to go through this combat a little bit further before I start.
There's no more
Catching up,
combat.
There's
It's
no more
Oh, they all-
combat left in this
Okay.
immediate vicinity, and if you don't do something, you are going
Okay,
to bleed. Keep bleeding.
the reason why I'm saying that is because on my screen of the Twitch, it doesn't look like that doesn't look like skulls. It looks like just tokens still. Okay, then I will heal myself.
That's weird. I don't know why. I gotta look into why I'm getting such bad
Well,
performance.
no, it's just because it's small and it's hard to tell those skulls are skulls.
Got it. Okay, I apologize, guys. It seems like we're having some performance issues. I mean, you guys weren't seeing that token. I don't know why.
It's weird because I was.
Yeah, me too. And I was looking on both of my screens and was seeing it. So it's just I think that was probably an artifact left over from that's not us. That's probably Twitch, is what I'm saying. You still have 6 charges left in your. Let me see if I can open you. There you go. In your inventory, you still have 6 sets of gear, medicines and so forth in your healer's kit. So you can use that to try and staunch the bleeding because otherwise every minute you're going to continue to take 1d6 plus 3 damage. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be doing that.
All right, you need to roll a 10 or better with this. Checking your skills, I believe you don't have medicine per se, so
But I should.
no. This is
It's
just
pretty
going to
good with
be
it, though.
this is just going to be a normal roll for you. Targeting yourself. Boom. Healers, you need to roll a 10 or better. Oh, all right. Damien makes a botch of it. He's now bleeding profusely still, and he kind of looks
My God.
over and says to medic. So you gave it the old college try. Unfortunately, you did not manage to staunch the bleeding. Um, and even if we had added your bonus, which I forgot to add for your wisdom, which I was just going to add manually in my head, you that was a horrible roll. You're not going to get it. So, does one of the healing type people want to address the fact that your Eldritch Knight is now bleeding profusely from a 3-inch deep hole in his bicep?
Yes,
Well, here's the thing. They can address it. Whether or not they're going to do anything is a whole other story.
I got it. I'm going to have Angelina do it. Let me see.
I'll use my healer's kit on Truger.
Yeah, because Druger needs some help too.
Fortunately, Druger will not keep draining because I did roll his resistance against it, and he's fine. So he's not he's not going to take any more, but he has taken damage clearly. All right, Angelina, this will stop him from bleeding. Go ahead and roll that, please.
Damien uses Band-Aid. Damien, critical fumble. Damien stabs himself instead with Band-Aid.
What do I roll for the healer's kit? I don't see.
Just roll your medicine roll, which is.
Oh, I see.
And she gets a +6 for this, by the way.
Hold on.
She needs to hit a 10 or better.
I thought you didn't have to make a wisdom medicine check. That was the whole idea of a healer's kit.
I mean, there's nothing to roll for the kit.
Right, but so okay, you're right but what we're talking about is specifically how you stop the bleeding in this particular kind of wound. If you have a healer's kit, you get the medicine bonus as opposed to just hitting with a heal. Because otherwise he keeps bleeding. So in order to try so to your point, I'm kind of fudging the rules a little bit on this one, just so you guys know. I'm trying to bring in some concepts that people have relative to being able to use these kits, because otherwise the kits don't do anything and they're kind of pointless. So what I was trying to do is, by using the medicine kit, it allows you to use your wisdom bonus to try and get a better ability on it. But yeah, to your point, it's not supposed to work that way for normal wounds. It's supposed to stop you from bleeding. But with respect to the kind of injury that a Sturge does, it has something to do with like a poison in it. So anyhow, sorry. I was just trying to add some flavor. But
no problem.
But to your point, yeah. It's like when I make Cauldron use the Thieves kit. It's like we're in a fuzzy area of rules here that are kind of homegrown. All right, so Damien, you don't take any more damage, but you are still down 7 hit points. Ruger, you're fine. Druger is down significantly. He's down 20 hit points now.
Yeah.
And everybody else, I think, is let's see. Elren, you're still down 5, and Sildar is still down 5.
Yeah, I think the 5 hit points and such, I'm just not going to worry too much about that until we get to a more dire situation. Gotcha. But I will go ahead and heal Druger.
All right.
Because he's one of our better fighters.
Yep.
I'm going to give him a little cure wounds, a little healthy cure wounds. Think, think.
All right. Wow, that's a really healthy roll. 12 points back into the good Mr. Iron Shield. A nice pop to him, so he's feeling much better. Still not quite 100%, but he's certainly feeling better than he was.
Yeah, I think that's fine for now. He's only down 8. I can do some sort of mass healing word if we get to a point where we might need that, because I think everyone's kind of equally down now.
Correct. All right, so to kind of point things out, now that you're at this kind of crossroads, there was a pathway to the north here, a pathway to the north here, a pathway continuing west here, and a pathway to the south here.
Can anyone sense anything, or is this another coin flip?
Well, it's either another coin flip, or if you want Ruger to do another divine sense for you, he could probably do that.
To you, or we could just go based off of a perception roll, like a really good perception roll. But up to you, Ruger.
Sure, I'll try it.
All right, divine sense giving you a good view 60 feet out. So you do pick up undead immediately to the south from you, and you're not sure, but you do think you're picking up, but it fades in and out, but there may actually be undead directly north as well.
Undead shouldn't be a problem for us, though. Right?
I think Ruger was even talking about seeing if they would join us.
Well, I thought they might help if the people after the forge follow us into the caves. I don't think the ones that are here are necessarily going to attack us if they're working for the Guardian.
Yeah.
Or if the other people who are searching for the cave or the forge, happen to, we're fighting them and the undead happen to be in the same area, to defend the cave.
Right. I don't know. I can get a glimpse of something up ahead that has a lot of green energy. So I'm wondering if we should just keep going forward.
All right.
All
Good
right.
to me.
Going back to our original marching order, we had Druger and Ruger to the front, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? We had the two clerics immediately in the rear of that. Correct?
Yep.
And we had Sildar and Damien drawn up the rear with the thief kind of. Did we have the thief in front of?
Oh, thief was.
I think I was second
in
behind someone.
I love how the rogue is like, hey, hold on. No. You got to put. I need a meat shield. All right. So
No, Cauldron is ahead of. You can put Cauldron next to Angelina. I mean, next to Elrin.
Okay. There we go. Oh, I'm reaching with the wrong character. There we go. Now that we can do it. All right. So this is the marching order as I'm taking you guys through. Okay.
Great.
So you guys are going this way, right? You guys are going up towards this one over here on the east, correct?
Correct.
All right. So the hallway gets a little thinner here, and as a result, you guys do need to kind of go in more single file, leading you up through the hallway until you get more or less into this configuration when you get up to the area here near the end.
Sparkles!
Sparkly!
Ready!
Sparkly! All right. So yes, you can see what looks like strange greenish blue and yellow emanations of energy coming from an opening in the cavern in front of you. Once again, the ceiling has gone up significantly from where you were just a moment ago. With respect to the ceiling, it's easily 100 feet high, but because of the illumination, the bioillumination coming from these whatever is growing on the ground, you can make out this room extremely well. There's these, they look like kind of like puff balls, about a foot across, sort of looking, some of them look a little bit like stalagmites, some of them look like balls, some of them look like stalks of like a corn on the cob, just with the husk pulled back. Some of them are on very long stalks. They cap out at about a good 5 feet tall, but all of them have these weird kind of phosphorescence coming over them. And even if you didn't have dark vision, you absolutely wouldn't need it in here because this is clearly very, very well lit as a result.
I don't think that's the forge.
No. Is this a trap?
Is there like any other ways to go from this room?
Well, you guys are at the entrance to this room. If you proceeded in a little bit further, you
Yeah,
might...
let's go in a little bit.
Okay, so as you guys get to about here, I can only move Druger with that guy. So let me do this. All right, let me move the rest of you guys in. Put you all a little bit into the doorway so everyone can get a really good look at what's going on. And Sildar is bringing up the rear. So as you can see, this room opens up significantly. This cavern is quite large. There's a little bit of moisture on the ground. Most of the ground looks a little slick. The earth on the floor where there's earth looks quite dark. There's the floor marking, where the polished floor is kind of disappears in a few places where it looks like these growths have kind of taken over. But other than that, you don't detect or see anything else moving around in the room.
We want to even... Well, do we want to bother looking through this room, or do we want to turn around and look for something else? There's no other doors or anything, right? It's just a closed room.
Not that you can see. There may be something up here because you can't get a good view up in that corner. There might be an exit here. There might be an exit here because it kind of goes outside of your view. There could be something down here, but it looks like not. It looks like it's going down this way. It looks like it's pretty much a solid wall. But in the northern end of it, you're not really sure, and you're not sure if that breaks off to another room either.
Is it a magical glow, or is there something in the room that is emanating the light?
Roll perception.
Okay. Don't gotta tell me twice. Perception.
This looks like a great place to party after we find forge.
Yeah.
But it does not look like the kind of place we all want to get delusional. So
Yeah, no,
we
that's
skip
why
the
I'm saying-
hallucinogens and head back the other way.
So
Exactly.
you're
It feels like a trap.
You're pretty sure this is bioluminescence. Like this is coming from the things that are growing in the floor. And as you take a bit of a closer look, you're kind of trying to look from a distance, but they look kind of like mushrooms. Various kinds of mushrooms.
Oh, no. We are not going in this room. This sounds like we're gonna trip out and kill each other in this room.
Yeah. No magic shrooms for the paladin today. Thank you.
No, we've had enough tripping on this journey. I think it's healthy to say we just turn around.
All right.
Until we find there's no other way to go forward, I agree.
All right.
Great.
So reversing the order of the party. All right. So back the other way. So everyone goes back into this room. I'll get everybody in there. Whoops. I need to zoom out a little bit, make it a little easier for me. All right, let me get everybody in. All right, there we go. Bringing in Sildar. Everyone decides to come back into the room, and I'll grab you there, Cauldron. We won't leave you alone. Here you go. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, there you are. So you're here.
Cauldron's like, you guys keep going. I'm gonna spend some time.
I'll be over here checking out the. I'll be flossing the cat. Yeah, I'll be flossing the cat. Yeah.
What?
Flossing the cat. You've never heard that? It's an old 70s joke. I'd go, but I have to stay home and wash my hair. I'd go too, but I have to floss my cat. And everyone kind of looks at me like, what? It's an old Chevy Chase movie.
Or it's like, they do that on TikTok too. People are like, sorry, could you do that again? I was walking my fish or something like that.
Exactly. All right, so there's still this exit. There's this exit. There's back the way you came and come up this way, or there's always way back to the entrance and go up the other entrance.
Well, there's a door to our north.
Check it out.
All right.
Can Cauldron listen at the door, perhaps?
All right, so we'll change the...
Can't even see the door. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Now that you guys have gotten a little closer, you guys have been able to see that. Oh my gosh, there is in fact a door at the other end of this hallway. Ooh. Ah. Everyone sees the door. All right. So, moving the party down the hallway. Yes. Okay. Cauldron, I'll put you on point for now. Cauldron, you go and check out the intersection to see if there's anything coming. And do me a favor, I'm going to put you guys like this for now because we are in a dungeon. We have to be a little bit more careful about our order of movement. Give me a perception roll, Cauldron.
Give me a sec.
You can take 2.
I'm still
I
picking up
might need
undead
to.
beyond the door.
Actually, you are. Your sense is still. I mean, you would have been. It would have been kind of fading out by now, but yes, you know, residual effect. You can kind of still detect it north beyond that door.
Oh.
Incidentally, as you guys were walking back through that room, you can hear the up in the. Oh, nice view. You are pretty sure in either direction you don't see nor hear anything approaching. In fact, you're fairly certain that to the east and west, it looks to you like the row you're in might actually be collapsed at either end.
Well,
Alrighty, I'll
at least
go
we know
up
nothing will
and
come out.
listen at the door.
All right, so we move the
Excuse me.
party forward to the door. Boink. As you listen to the door, go ahead and give me a perception check, please. One more. Another perception check for the door. And by the way, you're not hearing the hammering on stone. That just happens to be the soundtrack. I find that one hilarious though, because if I was the party, I'd be going, is anybody else hearing that? That would be where I'm at right now. You are absolutely positively sure you can hear what sounds like several people moving around on the other side of this door.
Guys, I think there's people on the other side of this door. Or something.
My worried. But that's with like not a great roll, so we don't know if there is anybody behind that door.
But you can't metagame, so.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Well, based on that feedback, I say we don't go to that door and see if there's another way around.
Want to go over here?
Where's over here?
Oh, yes.
You mean over here? Head on down this way?
Sounds like a good idea.
We could go around. I thought the undead aren't supposed to be a problem for us in this dungeon, according to the Guardian. Maybe we could go this way, but the clerics could turn undead if we need them to.
Can you tell if there's undead in front of us?
Well, I sensed it before, so that may be what's making the sound.
But Cauldron did think that there were it sounds like people.
Well, don't undead sound like people when they're the walking dead?
Do you still have Divine Sense up?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's only good for. Let me see. How let's double check.
A minute.
I thought it was only good for a minute. I may be wrong. Let's double check because I don't want to go.
That's correct.
If I'm wrong. It's only good for a minute, right? Yeah. By the time you guys went down the hall, saw the glowing room, and came back, no. It would be worn out by now. He could always burn it again if you'd like.
Well, you don't need to. The trusty clerics will follow where you suggest. So it's your call.
I'm good either way.
So by the way, as you start heading down this hallway, Cauldron, you do see in fact that the hallway appears to have collapsed in rubble as you get to the end.
There's still something up north, isn't there?
Yeah, like over here.
Yep, there's a hallway here, and there's a hallway here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shall
Let's
we just
see
keep
where
going?
those two lead to.
All right. Which way you guys going first? We flip it a coin?
Where are you getting your coin, by the way?
It's 1d2.
It's
Just write 1d2.
Slash R1D2.
Oh. Can I try?
Yeah, you can.
Wait, did we want to...
There's a space between the slash R and the 1D2.
Oh, thank you. And did we want to flip a coin, or does anyone have like a strong conviction on either path?
Let's flip a coin.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Wee, look at my coin. Oh wait, we forgot to establish this one which again.
Yes.
Let's just say. I would just say left to right. This one would be 1, and this one would be 2.
All right. So you guys going left or right?
Yeah. So we're going to the right one.
Okay. So then the order would be more like this then. Right? We would be going this way.
Yes.
I need to move that a little bit.
We can put Cauldron back in front to check for traps, though.
Is Cauldron okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, just checking. Because when I'd be playing Thieves, I'd be going, have I talked to you about our layaway plan on my services? All right. So you look around the corner, Cauldron, you take a quick peek, and that's what you see. Going off.
A good more hallways.
Yes. Welcome to a dungeon crawl.
So we can't see what's directly ahead of us. It just sort of ends.
Yeah. Well, you sort of your vision only goes 60 feet. Dark vision only goes 60 feet.
Right. I'm looking east ahead of my character. It only looks like
right
maybe
here.
20 feet.
Yeah, right here it ends in what looks like a broken wall.
Okay.
All right. So let me get the party around the corner. All right. Oops, I shouldn't. I got to be more careful on my walls. Yikes. Sorry. I forgot you're moving. You're moving Elrin and you're moving Angelina.
Yep.
Okay. Let me move Sildar and let me move. Yeah, Sildar, by the way, is holding on to you guys because he does not have dark vision, and unlike Angelina, does not have a brooch of dark vision, so he can't see anything.
Oh my god.
So he's blind as a bat. Actually,
Well,
he's worse.
Can we use light cantrips and light up stones as we go?
You can indeed.
Would that call unwanted attention
to us?
Well,
just remember, light works both ways.
Well, I think, first of all, we can give him a torch also, and if he needs a different weapon, I can give him a light crossbow.
He's actually armed pretty heavily. He came looking for trouble.
Okay.
Because he was basically hired to be the muscle for this guy that died. So he's loaded to the gills. He's got a light crossbow, he's got a longbow, he's got his longsword, he's got a warhammer, and he's got 2 hand axes for throwing. Now he's not necessarily proficient in all of them, but he's got them.
Does he have a torch or a lantern?
Yes. Angelina has a hooded lantern, so it's effective because he can reduce the light to a 5-foot radius in case we need to stay on the low.
Yes, that is exactly
true. But this is not the typical dungeon scenario because pretty much everyone should almost know we're here by the time we entered. We're probably going to end up going through just about everybody here to get to the main thing. That's my prediction. I could be wrong, but
all right. I have to reset something here on your vision because I accidentally almost showed something, so I have to reset your view here for a second. There we go, because I accidentally exposed something I wasn't supposed to, but we've taken care of that. Cool. I can give Sildar Hallwinter that hooded lantern if you'd like, but
I think either way, it's 60 feet of light, so it would give him the same exact vision that we have. Yes. It just gives him the advantage of turning it off if he needs to.
It's 60 feet of light. Is that correct?
Well, it's 30 feet of bright light, 30 feet of dim light for an additional 30 feet. Okay. And then it burns for 6 hours.
All right, we can do that. All right, here we go.
Then I just use it. There we go. And I'm going to give it to him.
Hold on a second. I need to turn that off. Otherwise, you're going to illuminate 2/3 of this map. Let me take care of that for you, shall we? So let's do this and take care of that. And I will. You said it was a 5-foot beam. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a 30-foot, 30 feet of bright light, an additional 30 feet of dim light.
Yes, but is it a target or is it a hooded?
Hooded.
Hooded. Okay, so it has a 60-degree angle. Okay, so that means, let me do this. No. Come on.
My gourd.
Yeah, let's turn this light down, shall we?
That is a
That's
supernova.
that
is a great lantern.
That is way more lantern than we wanted. All right.
Oh
my god. Yeah.
I'm blind. I can't see now.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when you said, like, back when we didn't have the effects and we did Sacred Flame, and it literally looked like we dropped a bomb on the forest.
Yeah.
The atomic lantern.
People look like people have been napalming the forest. Yes, I remember that all too well. All right. Okay. So moving the party north now. All right. Moving you guys. This is why I say I have to move you guys carefully, because this is a dungeon crawl. So we need to take things slowly. So Cauldron, as you come around this corner, you see that the room off to your right over here, first of all, you can see that there's a doorway over here, and you can see what looks like, obviously it's the rats have had a field day with it, but it looks like there's been a number of like casks, stores, crates busted open on the floor a long time ago, and they're all over the floor in this area here. But unfortunately, there's also that entire wall to the east sort of has fallen in, and there's been a bit of a partial cave in what would be the bottom, southeast corner of that room.
Gonna pop in here.
All right.
Take a listen at the door.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception roll. All right, really good roll. You notice a couple of things. First of all, you can't hear anything behind the door, but you also notice that this door is sealed around the edges with leather. And having grown up in Neverwinter, as basically a street thief, you've broken into many a pantry. So you know that this is typically what they would do to try and hermetically seal a room to keep, things like bugs and rats from being able to get in, because they'd soak the leather in chemicals and herbs that were very distasteful to vermin. So they would not try and get through the leather and not try and get into the room. So this would appear to be the kind of door you would see in something like a storeroom.
Okay. Anybody need some really old food?
You make it sound so tempting, but I think I'll pass right now.
Something about that smell just makes me go yum.
And I don't need to battle the rats for it either.
Me neither.
All right.
Shall we keep moving forward then, or?
Yep.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay.
I got attacked by a rat in Wave Echo Cave.
All right, moving forward. All right. As you start moving down, you start noticing in the light that there seems to be some sort of an opening ahead of you in this hallway. It looks like it opens up to a much larger room.
I'm scared.
All right. I'm going to stop here at the entranceway. your light is spilling into the cave, but the light spilling into the cave is opening things up quite a bit. And what you see in front of you at this particular juncture is, just a tad upsetting. Um, the cavern ceiling goes significantly high into the room. Like from where you're standing kind of back so you're not exposed to the room, you can't even tell how high up it goes. And your ceiling is a good 20 feet in the air, 20 to 30 feet depending on where you are. And you can't even see the ceiling from where you're standing. But the room itself, you can see old braziers, you can see large tables, some large soup cauldrons, things of that nature. But you can also see many, many bodies strewn about on the floor in various states of armor and so forth. And they're clearly have been dead for a long time, so you can't make out all of the races, but you can, you're familiar with the kind of armor styles that the different races carry. You can see some elven armor, human armor, dwarven armor, orcish armor. You can see a few armors you can't place as well in there, but there's something went down in this room, and you can kind of tell that even from where you're standing. Now, you can see that there's a stairway here, because right here running down the middle of this room, you can see another one of those escarpments. Again, the dwarves taking advantage of the natural layout of the land. But the ground is up about 8 to 10 feet higher there than it is in the rest of the room. Don't everybody move at once.
Can we, can I, never mind.
I'll go into the room.
Yeah.
Can we tell from the smell how long ago this battle went down?
The telling from the smell would be hard. But you can see that these bones are fully desiccated.
Okay.
There's no smell of rot. It's clearly there's dried black marks on the ground. So like blood has been spilled, but it's also covered in dust. And all of these things have got spider webs, and they've clearly been gnawed on by moths and rats.
Right. That was my question.
Yeah, this is not fresh, if that's what your concern is.
All right. Well, we might as well. Let's just all march in.
Yeah, like I said, I'll go in the room.
All right, here we go. I'll move the whole party into the room.
Yuck.
And as you move into the room, you can see that, yeah, it was whatever happened, it wasn't trivial. There's even over in this area, you can see what looks like may have been a giant, or maybe even perhaps a troll that had been battled over on the ground. You can make it out into the edges of your vision as Sildar kind of like swings the light around as you guys look left and you look right, trying to see what you can relative to the room. You guys are getting a pretty good view of what's in there. And in the lantern, now that you've gone into the room thus far, you can't make out all the way off to the west. It's just a little bit further than your lantern will show you. But the ceiling is easily 100 feet in the air. Easily 100 feet in the air.
Need anything from this room, or should we just keep moving?
I vote we keep moving. Is the thing to the right of the stairs a table?
Yes, it looks, well, there's something there. It looks like it's up above you, so you can kind of make out the top of it, but you can't really get a good view of it from where you're at here. You can't really tell if it's a table or if it's a chest or an altar, but you can't really get a good view of it from here. It's a little too high and a little too far back.
Let's go check that out and then maybe continue northbound.
All right, so the party comes up to here. And as you start moving across the room, you start noticing that it looks like there may be potentially exits here, appears to be another one of those walls here, those escarpments. This one's actually much higher. But you notice standing on the edge of the escarpment as you're looking at it, you can actually see that there are a number of undead standing there. Not moving, they're just kind of like gently swaying back and forth as they stand on the edge of that wall.
Yeah, because they know because they're on our side, right? Well, at least they know not to attack us.
Correct. Well, you hope.
Well, they better, because otherwise I've got some spirit guardians that will have words.
All right. So Cauldron, you guys said you guys wanted to go this way. So
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna stay on the ground with Sildar and Damien in case the undead get any ideas.
All right. So you guys kind of spread out a little bit like this to try and. So Sildar, I guess he's gonna keep his flashlight, pointing in this direction just to make sure that And I'm afraid that's about the best I can do, trying to get that even with the creature controls. But moving you guys up to the top here, Ruger, Druger, and Cauldron. When you guys get to the top, you can see that is in fact just a large, kind of looks like a wardrobe, like a closeted box. And there is definitely an exit going north here.
Anyone want to open the box?
I vote Cauldron.
I was about to say, sure,
Actually, who is asking?
I think it's just you just have the best chances of getting it open without hurting anybody.
Is it locked at all?
Not locked at all.
All right, then I open it.
All right. As you open it, you realize you are looking inside of basically a kitchen's a serving utensil storage location. There's large ladles, big, almost look like oars for stirring things. A couple of small pots on the bottom of the floor of this thing, but and some leather aprons that have looked a little worse for wear, that look like if you breathe on them, they'd fall apart.
All right, so nothing there. Which exit do you guys want to go out of? Do you guys want to? Oh, there's also a staircase over here. Oh, but I think maybe that's just leading to the ledge that the undead are on. But isn't there something up here too? There's one here and one here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a little trouble controlling the guy who's my backup character here, the one that allows me to move the camera around. There we go. He's back in control now. Yes, it looks like there's one kind of up here. It looks like there was one kind of over here. Looks like there's a couple of other exits.
My gore. What do you guys think? I think at this point it's just a random toss-up unless we want to use someone's perception in terms of sound or activity.
And by the way, speaking of sound, you guys can hear the sound of surf now.
Where does it seem to be coming from?
It's kind of hard to tell because it sounds like it's kind of coming from all around you. It's coming from this direction and it's coming from this direction.
I say either one of those are our best bet.
Given the way these undead are acting, does anybody want to go back to the door that we left down the hallway? Where we think there are people moving behind it that could be undead?
Up to you.
I mean, we can search the way that goes source, or we can go back to that room. 6 or 1/2 dozen, but I would probably start going like if you picture a clock, I think we should probably start at like noon and start going counterclockwise around to search the exits.
All right.
So you guys are going to go back the way you came. Is that correct?
No, I was proposing to go up straight north
So this
and
way or this way?
then due north of me,
Gotcha.
my character,
Gotcha.
followed by the green. And then the other exits out to the west probably head back towards the other way to come in that we didn't inspect. But it looks like it might go out to the entrance.
Yeah. So you're suggesting we go this way, up here?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the layout of the dungeon, right? Like, there's the mushrooms off to the one side. There's the ways that go back towards the entrance. The only thing we haven't really done is that door in the middle of the complex.
Do you want to check the door out before we keep going?
No, we can keep going, come back to the door.
All right. Well, I'll have the clerics meet the party up the stairs.
All right. I'm going to have Damien and Sildar fall in behind you guys. Sildar is going to try and illuminate that walkway. I'll let so we're going to this is kind of the direction you're going like this, right? So this is the marching order. Just make sure I'm cool. I've got this right.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll let you move the clerics. And let me point his light in the right direction. Correct? This is the angle you're going at now, right?
Mhm.
Okay. As you guys get closer towards that door, you notice that the sound of the waves is actually becoming quite loud, like almost to the point where it makes it difficult to communicate with each other. It's kind of almost disturbingly loud.
Weird.
All right. So moving down the hallway, you notice something unusual about this hallway that you're in. This hallway, the ground was clean when you were walking up the other ways. But where you're walking now, the ground is actually dirty. There's thick dust, cobwebs, bits of wood, bone here and there just lying randomly on the floor as you're making your way in this direction.
What is that generally an indication of? It's just that it's a room that hasn't been visited in a long time?
Don't know.
Okay.
You just noticed that the halls that you were walking through, where the storeroom was, and the door that you were listening to, they were clean. These ones aren't. So as you get to the opening of this doorway, and Sildar's light is spilling in, once again, the ceiling opens up tremendously above you, literally going up 100, 200 feet easily to a natural ceiling, as much as you can make out with the limited light that you have. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of just glimpse it here and there. Looking on the floor, you see, similar to the carnage you saw in the room that you just left, with slightly fewer bodies, but there is a large number of skeletons, again in various states of desiccation, on the ground. But what you see is a large mechanism in front of you. It looks like a large wooden wheel attached by a shaft to what looks like an enormous set of bellows that you would
What's bellows?
the things that blacksmiths use. You would have
Oh,
seen
oh,
these a
oh.
million times for, pumping air into
Right,
the
right,
coal
right.
fire when they're shoeing horses and so forth. And there's some other kind of apparatus or box or something immediately to the left hand side of you, and you can't really make too much more out because you are definitely back a little ways from the entrance. Your light is spilling out, but you can't see anything more than what you're seeing here without actually venturing into the room.
Can I throw out an idea really quickly? I wonder if the clean floors and high ceilings, like, I wonder if this place is, like, rigged to flood itself.
Well, the floors
Like,
you're on right now are not clean.
not that one, but, like, I don't know, just the fact that some places are clean and some aren't, and, like, the super high ceilings. I don't know. That's just an idea I had. I'm throwing it out there, and I don't know.
It's interesting because that looks like a water wheel, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Is there like a change in elevation from here to here?
Yes, that is down about 5 feet from where you guys are standing right now. So you can see that it's some sort of like a ditch.
You might be right. They could be using like water to, power the water wheel, which in turn powers the bellows. That's smart.
Damn clever those.
Yeah.
And as you guys are saying that, Druger, well, we're often using that for. We can't have guys manning the bellows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not going to work. So we'll use something like water to keep the bellows going, and it's that way you can keep the fires the hottest. But you wouldn't do that with a forge. You might do that with a smelter, but you would never do it with a forge. You could burn your steel.
So maybe this is just the engine of the whole operation, or was at some point. Not the forge, but just like the... Oh, hi. Oh, they're undead though, aren't they?
Yes, you see as you look around the corner that some of the bodies on the ground are actually swaying slightly back and forth. And they are not really paying attention to you, though. In fact, when you look at them, you notice that all of them seem to be looking in this direction.
I think we can go in the room.
Yeah.
All right, who's going into the room?
All of us.
I'll go into the room.
I will.
All right, so I'll move Cauldron in, and I'll move the rest of the party in too. So now you guys can see what's going on in the room. As you can see, there's this enormous box next to you. And that box, and as you start looking at it, that's when Druger goes and says, "Ah, I knew it. That's a smelter if I've ever seen one before." And as he says that, something comes out of the top of it. And it floats down in front of you. It floats around all of you. What you see when you look at it is essentially this. And it's cackling its head off in the most disturbing fashion you've ever heard in your life. Like literally giving you goose flesh. And it floats around all of you. And then it goes back up into the smelter. And then it vanishes.
Should I be seeing an image that popped up? I see the pop-up window. I don't see an image.
Well, I think for Christmas, Santa's going to bring you a better connection.
Okay.
Yes. What it looks like is a skull with glowing red eyes, wreathed in green flame.
Okay.
Think of what the head on the Ghost Rider would look like if it was disconnected from everything else.
Oh, great.
And it just cackles its head off and then goes back inside the smelter.
Does anybody in our party like recognize it or know what it's from?
Let's see. Damien. Damien would probably know because being essentially a monster hunter, we're going to give him a quick arcane roll. This won't be terribly hard.
Come on, big money, big money.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, you rolled a 20. And you're like, wow,
Yeah.
that was a green flaming skull. They are usually the embodiment, you know that these are the embodiment of a tortured soul that died under less than auspicious circumstances.
Oh, I don't know if I like him being at the.
Yeah, well, that's just the way that things go. But because of that, you guys do know for a fact that, uh, well, you know, Damien, that those kinds of creatures, they can usually be extremely dangerous. And the fact that this one was willing to go and just deal with you without causing any trouble is really unusual. But as you're thinking that, Mormesk comes back and starts floating over the smelter. And he looks down at you and says, "The usurpers are here."
Whoa. Okay, wait. DM, can you say that one more time?
He said, "The usurpers are here," and he
Okay.
points at this fallen amount of rubble. That's what he's pointing at. He says, "I cannot help you once you engage."
We shouldn't engage.
He said he can't help you once you engage.
Right. So I'm
I,
thinking we shouldn't engage.
I'm asking him where the forge is.
When you ask him where the forage is, he points in the other direction.
Like south?
What's the other direction?
He points in this. Where's my mouse? It's in this general direction.
Okay.
It is there, but beware. They know you're here. Man, that's murder on my voice.
Beware, it is there. Sorry, I'm having a really hard time hearing over the waves.
Yes, well, that's part of the point. But yes,
They know we're here.
they know you're here.
Okay. Uh.
So the only exits I see out of the room are the one we came in and the one behind us.
Is there
Well,
one north of us?
well, it's kind of hard to say because there may be something in this direction. You can't tell. You can't really see far enough between the lamp and your dark vision. You can't see. There appears to be a doorway over here. There might be something here. It's kind of hard to tell.
Let's send Cauldron to find out.
Because, by the way, Steve, you think there might be actually another ledge on this side, but it's too high to tell. It might be above where you can view in the wall. There may be another level there. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like the wall behind that is much further back. But when you look down in the trench, you can see that there might actually be a path to the east going underneath here, underneath the wall.
It look like water has gone in that trench for a while, or is it dry?
It looks pretty dry.
Okay. Well, he did point right here, so if we can find anything there.
I think he was pointing in a direction.
Yeah.
Uh,
He was
we might.
was pointing, if you were to draw a line, he's kind of doing one of these. Now it won't let me do it. I'm trying to use that range finding thing. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see
Like
this.
this?
Can you guys see it? Yeah. So he's kind of pointing in that direction, right? And yes,
I mean, well, that's like I said, if there's anything that takes us in that direction, like a door or something, we might want to use it.
by the way, Steve, you do notice that the sound of the waves are coming very loud from right there.
Very good. I told the party. My suggestion would be exit stage right and take the doorway behind us and see if we can go north after we go down the hall.
That's so funny. Stage right. Ha ha.
All right. So does the party?
What do you guys think?
Are you guys going to go down this doorway or this one? I want to make sure I understand.
Or
Which
I can
doorway?
fly up and check out what's above the wall opposite me.
You mean up here, right? Is that what you said, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. How are you guys gonna proceed?
Isn't Steve checking it out and seeing what's beyond the ledge?
Steve, did we lose you? I think we lost Steve.
I'm trying to adjust my sound because I really can't hear anything anyone's saying over the wave noise.
Okay.
So
Let me turn that
I
down.
understand that there are waves in the background and they're very loud in the room, but it doesn't mean it needs to be loud in my ears. So it would help me if I could play the game.
Okay. If you go to click on the icon that is the audio playlist, which is the notes, you can control
Yes.
you can control all the audio there.
It's not showing me an option for the waves.
No.
It's only showing.
It's ambient. Just lower them all, and it will go down significantly.
If you open global volume controls, there's playlists, ambient, and interface, and the waves are ambient.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo!
They're actually built into the map, Steve, so I can't turn it off. Or I would turn it off for you.
Right. Okay, sorry, now I can hear. So yeah, I'm offering to go check it out. You guys want me to fly up and check it out?
Yes, please.
Now when you go into wave format, do you glow?
No, they say there's like a gold glimmer to my eyes.
Gotcha.
And two luminous incorporeal wings form.
Gotcha. All right. So you bust out the glowing wings, and I have to hold you, and you fly up onto this ledge. And as you fly up onto the ledge, as you're flying over it, you notice that the staircase that you see up here is blocked off by a very large fire pit. And you're not sure, there might be something behind it. You thought you saw movement behind the fire pit.
And that's not where the pieces are falling down just past the smelter.
Correct. So here's the smelter over here, right? And you've got all these guys over here that are standing around this rubble. And then you've got the fire pit here, and you think you saw something beyond it over here, moving.
But there's no way to go up on the ledge to the north?
Well, as you come up here, you find you're up against a wall. As you fly along this upper location, this is what you can see of the room. You can see that there's more of that trough the water trough heading north. So there's definitely more of that, and it empties and it turns around the corner. But and as you were dropped down into the trough itself momentarily, you could see that there was a bit of an angle in the trough itself as it starts heading back north as well.
Is there like a door or anything that you can see like down in here?
No, when he was standing here, it's just a shelf.
Huh.
But it was much higher. It was a good 30 feet up in the air.
Oy.
Yeah, which is why he couldn't see it. But unfortunately, a lot of what was up there has just collapsed down onto that platform. So anything that had been there in the past, unfortunately, is just not there anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry about the weird way that the floor plays out like that, Steve. It's the way that they handle altitude in this thing. It's a little strange.
No problem. So do you guys want to head up the waterway? Do you guys want to head up the corridor? I'm not inclined to check out the figure moving out to our left, the west, as much as I'm tempted to go towards the forge.
Yeah, no. Didn't he say that the usurpers were in that direction?
Yeah, there might be more people coming to get us.
Yeah, let's just not deal with that just yet.
Also, it's coming up on 9 o'clock here.
Yes, I was about to say it is 6 o'clock, ladies and germs. So, with that having been said, you have time to discuss, plan, and collaborate around which direction you want to go. And we will pick it up next time, right here, as we decide which one of these paths you're going to take next. Which angle are you going to go for? What are you going to try to avoid?
Gotcha.
Fantastic, folks. You are still alive. There's a lot to be said for that. Congratulations. You are now deep inside the bowels of Wave Echo Cave, and you've achieved actually quite a bit. You have contacted Mormesk. You have managed to establish the protection of the undead, or at least their indifference.
You're welcome.
And you've managed to make it all the way to where you are now with nothing really much to threaten your lives besides a bunch of sturges. So well done there, ladies and gentlemen. We will pick it up there next week, and we will discuss also next week what we will be doing over Thanksgiving, because I know that could be a very difficult time for people to be playing. So we will talk about schedules at that time. All right. Thank you very much, folks. I will leave the game up for a few minutes.
Thank you.
It will be in pause mode so that you can go in and do your journals if you'd like to add notes to what you've been doing, thoughts you have, clues you want to write down. You cannot navigate around, obviously, sadly, but you can still take this as an opportunity to go through and do all that other good stuff. All right, folks. Thank you very much.
DM.
It was a fun day. This is good. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Hopefully, you guys had as much fun as I did, and I will talk to you next week.
It's been great.
Yay!
Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome, all of you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks,
Turn
Mom.
your powers of persuasions on the rats.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, guys. I had fun. I'll see you guys next week. Yes, next week.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
Oh.